move. We are dance to the rhythm and the groove. Move. Alright, I make me tell you listen. Move. We are dance to the rhythm and the groove. Move. Watch them as they bang through, them a move. So we chop it, so we do it. This a rhythm that I lock down the street. So we chop it, so we do it. This a when you come feel lock down the street. Alright, so we chop it, so we do it. Lock down and we a lock down the street. So we chop it, so we do it. This a when you come feel lock down the street. All I'm full of go play back again. And everybody say yeah. All I'm full of go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of go play back again. And everybody say yeah. All I'm full of go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of go play back again. And everybody say yeah. All I'm full of go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of go play back again. And everybody say yeah. All I'm full of go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. So we do it. This a rhythm that I lock down the street. So we chop it. So we do it. This a when you come feel lock down the street. Alright, so we chop it. So we do it. Lock down and we a lock down the street. So we chop it. So we do it. This a when you come feel lock down the street. All I'm full of go play back again. And everybody say yeah. All I'm full of go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of go play back again. And everybody say yeah. All I'm full of go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of go play back again. And everybody say yeah. All I'm full of go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of go play back again. And everybody say yeah. All I'm full of go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune.
What's going on? Welcome, folks, to the FSBN, or the Flight Sim Broadcasting Network. My name is Jason, and we are actually in a kind of a chill out, threads or not. We don't have the epaulets today. We're not running the tie. We're doing a charter flight, a hockey charter flight. So we're just a little more laid back tonight here. This was actually supposed to be filmed today. Well, this is the normal time, but I was supposed to actually do a Southwest flight yesterday. Ended up doing it, and we pushed it to next week on Thanksgiving morning. So we'll get this done. If you can hear me, let me know. 5x5, everybody checking in. Let me know if you can hear me. Sean is checking in, and Pops is in. The Rangers are playing tonight, and Florida obviously is on their way to Columbus to play Columbus. We were chartered by the Panthers to actually fly their team this season. And by the way, the shirt I'm wearing is a brand new shirt, and it's the MD-80 with a hockey puck, and it says, this is Coastal Hockey Charters 2022-23 season. And on the back of that shirt, it's like all the tour dates that we have, all the flights that we're taking is on the back of the shirt. It's pretty cool right now. You can check it out right here. 5x5, thanks. It's flycoastalairways.myspreadshop.com. You can also check the link down below in the description. It'll be there. Without any further ado, by the way, we are in Fort Lauderdale. I flew it actually earlier to Fort Lauderdale from Miami. So I flew it in Fort Lauderdale in the morning. The airplane sat all day here in Lauderdale, and obviously we're taking it now. So shirt looks good. Hey, thanks, Sean. Yeah, I like it. I like the shirt. It's nice. It's going to shrink down a size, so I'm good with that. I went a little higher on the size. Okay, let's get the FO rolling, and let's get him going. If you're new to the channel, by the way, and you want to know what we're about, really, Coastal Airways is really simulating real-world operations, real-world airline. That's what we're about. Here we simulate it. So if you want to be a part of our airline, go to flycoastalairways.com. Scroll away to the bottom, read about it, and then apply down below. There's an application process. We're not like your traditional airline out there or virtual airline. We're not a sign and fly. We probably are opening only 4 or 5 positions, probably in the spring. So you're on a wait list. So get on there, get on that wait list, and let's get going. We've got 2 pilots. One of them just checked in. 2 pilots are probably very close to making through the training. I know both of them will get through it. John is in the house. VRF Simmer, what's going on? I really enjoyed your video. I had him do I think it was 403? 404 is a piece of cake. It's a walk in the park. It's pretty much easy from here on out, man. I think you've got through the worst of it. All right, so I'm gonna get the FO going, and we're gonna get this ball rolling, this puck rolling. Let's start setting up.
Roger.
All right, they're gonna do their thing. We're gonna do our thing, and we're gonna hammer on home. If I could figure it out. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is park your brake. Make sure that puppy's on, and it is. Then we're going to go battery switch. Battery switch is on already. The fire loop test we're going to do. Remember, we had to power down the aircraft. It sat down in Fort Lauderdale all day, and then we got to do this again because we powered it down. So we have to do our full testing, and this is an archaic aircraft, so everything takes quite a long time. We'll go ahead and test this. It's actually going to be pretty quick, to tell you the truth. External power, I'm going to have to turn that on. We do have a GPU online, so I'm going to actually keep that APU off as long as I possibly can, and then we're going to get GSX rolling right now and get them called for boarding.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
Yeah, I know. So we're going to request the boarding on that. And I'm going to come down here, APU, we're just going to leave that off for now. And we'll get that going here. I'm going to go ahead and test the power. Emergency power is in use. That's good. We want to see that. There we go. EMER test complete, and we've got to keep the air supply in the off position.
Board crew?
Everybody, both.
Crew bus is coming.
Thank you. All right, coming down from here, from the top of this, we're going to come over here. We're going to click this to 15. And the actual aircraft, by the way, who's flying the actual team, is actually on their way right now over to Columbus. So very much real what we're doing here. Real route, everything. We're going to go ahead and open our pneumatic cross feeds, and then we'll start programming the FMC right away. What are you talking about? The cabin doors is open. No, it's not. Let's see if that did it. Okay, good, that did it. All right, now I'm down here. Let's go into this init ref. We're going to go ahead and click Miami. We're going, no, we're not. We're in Fort Lauderdale. I'm going crazy here. Hopefully you had a great week. We just came back from seeing a movie. We haven't been out in movies in a long time, and we went to this movie called Spirited. And it was good until the person next to me, it was like a seat next to me, started hacking. I mean, just this cough was wicked. And I'm like, what in the world? Why would you come here with a wicked cough like that? Like, why are you doing that? No mask, nothing. And I'm like, I don't want to breathe these people germs. So fortunately, I do carry a mask in my pocket. And I'm like, you know what? I'm putting this thing on. I'm not getting sick. Still, it's courtesy, right? Things have changed from a few years ago. And yeah, I get it. Probably didn't have COVID or anything, but I don't care. I don't even want a cold, dude. I don't even want a cold, period. Like, why? If I could prevent being sick, why would I ever do that? All right, so co-route we're going to do, actually going to put our co-route in. So Fort Lauderdale, that's our company route, by the way. We're going to, CMH is the airport. That's John Glenn. Let's run the company. And there we go. We got it ready to go. We'll click activate, execute. We'll go to the pref init page, our performance page, and we'll take a look at some of the numbers that we've got kicked out. This is general, our general. Look at this. I love how they do this crap. Like, I do not understand this. I don't understand it at all. All right, zero fuel. All right, let's get the zero fuel in. Is at 97.1. 97.1. I'll throw that in there. Good evening. All right. All right, fuel's in there. By the way, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to us. It takes you 2 seconds. Doesn't cost you anything. Just hit that subscribe
Hi,
button.
Captain. How are you feeling today?
It'll help the channel grow. Doing well. Thank you. All right, so fuel is coming up. We're actually taking a lot of fuel because we do have an alternate. So we're putting in 25,000. And there's all of our money for the first hour. It's just fuel cost. So that's just lovely, isn't it? Ugh. All right. 25.5 reserves. We're going to land with about a lot of fuel on the reserves. So I do not want to go under 7,000. Cost index is 35. We'll keep that the way it is. And then we will go to cruise altitude of 340. 34,000 feet there. Cruise altitude and the winds are pushing 243 at 67. 243 at 67. We'll throw that in there. And our deviation, negative 45 degrees. Well, it's not the deviation. That's the actual. We'll go ahead and throw that in there. There we go. No, that's not right either. So just going to drop that there on the top of climb. There we go. You got to watch what I'm doing here, because I could get a little squirrely at times. All right. We'll go to ground, and we're going to have to upload the aircraft, so we're going to go ahead and flip this weight and balance, go ahead and plug in our fuel quantity, and looking at our... We're going to fill up the tanks with 90... I wonder if it could take 9,400. I don't think it can. I think it goes... Yeah, it goes to 92, so we're going to go 9,200 over 9,200 in the wings, and then we're going to put in 7,100 pounds in the front and the center tank. Quite a lot of gas, isn't it? Okay, that brings us 25.5. That's what we want. And then our forward cargo, we're going to be putting in 3,000 pounds. We got to shift that weight, the CG forward. This aircraft has all the weight in the back of the airplane. The engines are back there, the tail's back there, everything's back there, and it just makes it for an aft heavy aircraft. So we're going to go 30 and 30 on the passenger count, and that'll balance that out a little bit. That puts us right there in that mark, which is perfect. We'll take it. And I'm going to write down the takeoff CG is at 19.3, because we're going to need that number here in a little bit. And then looking at a zero fuel weight of 97, I've got that down. Takeoff weight of 121.7. 121.8 is fine. The paperwork said that, so we're good there. Click over to here, go back to here, and we're going to load the airplane now with all this gas. I'm just going to click that in there, and it's going to start loading the aircraft with the fuel. Once I'm done with the FMC, which I'm pretty much am, I'm just going to have to do some other calculations. Let's do that really quick while they're running. We'll click performance. And I don't know... I found a way that this will work. Winds are... why do I keep saying Miami, guys? It's because I flew Miami all week. 040 to 10. So just hit tab and go 040/10. That's really nice with tab because you can manipulate it yourself. You don't have to go through and type it all in. 25 degrees. All right, maybe that didn't work. Tab 25. 10 left. It will be. Flaps are going to be actually 11. We're going to take off flap 11 even though we're way light. 30-11. I'll give you an update on everything. And our takeoff weight's going to be 121.8. I'll just hit click tab. 1218. There we go. Click calculate. All right, there we go. We got cell temp at 50, so we'll do assumed temperature today out of here. 127, 132 on the speed, 141. All right, let's go ahead and give you that. Hopefully this camera is positioned okay. I don't know if it is or not. I can move it. There we go. How's that? Hopefully that's a little bit better.
Okay.
Alright, cool. Where was I? I got all that done. This is all done now. Our V-slat 183. I gotta make sure we note that. Let's go ahead and note that in here. 127, 132. And I'll figure out what's going on with this stupid GSX deal. 132. And then 141. Those are our speeds. We'll plug our speeds in the computer. That's great. Departure. Shoot. Departing 10 left. And let's find out what departure we're actually flying here. Frisbee 1. Frisbee 1, 10 left it is. With a waypoint of Stymie. And then we're going to be arriving. I don't think there is an arrival. It's just a HNN, which means that there isn't an arrival. K-Pass is not. That's just a deal. So you can click departure. Click our route again. We'll execute that. I want to make sure the legs are good.
Are all done. Are we good to start boarding?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Restart check completed to the line.
Thank you. All right, so we're going to go to LeBeau, Room, YOLO, Lyric. We got Alonzo, and then we're going to head up northbound. Frisbee, Wapham, and then Stymie, and then Oblek. All right, that looks good. And I'll show you the route here in a little bit. But that looks good. All right. He's to the line. We're good to go. We're going to go ahead and just put our stuff in there. And actually, our speed's coming in. And our speed's going to be dialed up to 141 is what we need to hold. 141. We need to climb out to an altitude of 4,000. And that comes pretty quick in this aircraft. So let's go ahead and pull this to 4,000. 4,000 set. We'll yank it. And now that's good to go. All right, flight directors are on. Art switch is coming. I'm going to go ahead and throw this to the takeoff flex. I'm going to bring it up to 50. This is just limits our EPR, or engine pressure ratio, a little bit. Are those idiots still trying to board? Yeah, it's a joke. Like, I don't know why it's doing what it's doing. I know the bags are in. It's quite
This
annoying.
is too small for your aircraft.
I don't know why it does it, but it does it. I don't know if it's... I'm just getting rid of that. I'm going to try it one more time. And see if we could just board them.
This parking is too small for your aircraft. Boarding requested.
Alright, so I'll let it do its thing. I'm going to come over to here. Click into this. We're going to go into here and click start boarding here. I know I got doors open and everything else like that, but we're working on this first and then I'll get that going. 3011 both ways. and then I'll give you a briefing here just a minute. Let me just run through
Do you
my
want
other
to board
stuff.
crew?
Gosh, no one.
Passengers bus is coming.
Here we go. Maybe that'll do it. Dorks. All right, we're going to start the APU. We'll run that. And we'll do 0 fuel weight. I've got to enter that at 97.1, I believe it was. No, we're still fueling, by the way. 97.1. Okay, so there's the fuel gross weight. Is still coming up. I wonder what they could, forward service doors come closed. We don't need that open. Aft service door, we don't need that open. All right, we're going to do our checklist here in just a minute while we're going to get the passengers boarding. I'm going to get outside and actually do a pre-flight on the aircraft with you. This is a little new feature that that we have that we just checked out. I wish they'd start you actually where the pilot actually starts with this. And there is a flashlight I can use, and I don't know how to enable that thing. Anyway, you would start from here. You come down the stairs. All right, here we go. The first thing we do is kind of back up. We look at the plate here. I can't point to it, but you see the plate. We'll look at the angle of attack indicator, the 2 pitot probes on top of the nose. Well, I just got hit by a bus. That's awesome. Thank you. You check your nose gear. If you get down underneath the aircraft and go into the nose gear, it'll actually put you right back in the cockpit, so we don't want to do that. There's another alpha vane and your pitot probe. Coming down here looking good. I'm going to actually increase the speed here a little bit just to help us out. Oh, that's nice and bright, isn't it? But that helps us because we're going to check our pitot static right there. This is the static system, or static port they're called. There's another one down here on the aircraft. Looks good. All right, you take a look at the gear. It's not like a 7.3 where you can poke your head underneath there. You just got to look at the gear. It's really hard in the duck your head here. That hurts if you get hit by that. Obviously, our lights are good. I could see the clear white light there, position light, and our white light, white on the tip, and then you've got your static ports or your lightning static wicks, they're called. Go ahead here, take a look at the wheel. Wheel looks good. As we're boarding our passengers, now's a good time to do this. All right, engines nacelle looks good. Logo lights are on. What's up, man? Excuse me. Engine looks good. Tail looks great. Looking at the elevator and the stabilizer. Look, there's one pitot probe. That you could see pitot tube. You can see sticking out there. Make sure that's good. Again, static. The wicks. Make sure you got good static wicks on there on the aircraft, and you do. And that just helps dissipate the static electricity that builds up on the airframe as you fly through the atmosphere. It will, just wick the static off the aircraft, which you want. It's light, and for lightning too. You get hit by a bolt. The whole point of that is to actually, it's like grounding the aircraft essentially. Or it's supposed to not hit the direct aircraft. It's supposed to go off to the static ports. That's what it's for. Right there's your pressurization port. Right there on the side of the aircraft, that valve that's open. You just want to check that, make sure you're good to go. Normally FO does this, but today we're doing it. Got splash guards are in. Tires look good. And the engine looks good. Whose grandma's that? What hockey club do you know that has got a grandma on it? They wouldn't have a bus, by the way. They just walk right out. But that's okay. Hey, what do you expect? Good. We got lights on. That looks good. Lights looking good. Straight to the static system. That looks good. Oh, look at that. Hey, open the door, dude. I need to get in. What are they doing to me? So I was showing you, watch. You can do like two ways. You can just kind of go like this, and it'll take you right into the flight deck. So, isn't that interesting? Well, now you got something to check out. All right, that's good to go. We're going to start the APU. APU, come and start. APU, 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 APU. Run the master. Here we go. Master, come. Start. Okay. Check our stabilizer. I'm going to go do our stabilizer checks right now. We wrote down 19.3 on the CG, so we'll go ahead and dial that up to 19.3. That's about right there. Flap's going to be 11 for departure, so we'll just bring that flap down to 11. Trims at 0.5. We're going to check this is called the baggage handle, and then we'll check the actual yoke, both sides. Good. Good. We're going to go 2200 here, and then we're going to go standby. It is. Enter that, and we'll do a dial a flap. We're dialing at 11. Pretty standard for takeoff on this aircraft. Set. 22.8 coming in. We are on VATSIM, by the way, if you're wondering. Flip that over. We're ready to go. Okay, that's good. That's good. It's on takeoff. It's on. It's gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and arm it right now at minimum arm. Okay. Oops, sorry. Takeoff arm. Good. All right, we'll just get the back done. Let's run the checklist and let's get the heck out of here. Now our doors are open, but we could do a pre-start checklist below the line. Pre-start checklist below the line.
Covers and pins.
Removed.
Aircraft log and documents.
Checked on board.
Altimeters.
Set. Checked.
Fuel, oil, hydraulic quantities.
Set and checked.
Hi guys, here is the load sheet for you.
Set. Checked.
Zero fuel weight.
Set.
TRP.
50 takeoff flex.
Stabilizer.
0.5 set. 0.5 set and checked. 5 set. Set and checked.
Flaps takeoff selector.
Stowed.
Speed bugs.
Set.
Pre-start check below the line completed.
Thank you. Are you ready for the departure briefing?
Go ahead.
All right, folks, so let's give you the departure briefing here while we're at it. We'll kind of give you the rundown, what to expect, and all that good stuff. So this is our route, pretty much straight up the gut on the United States here. We do have some weather off of the coast of Florida, right on the west side of Florida. We should be climbing over the top of those. I don't see any issues. Out of Fort Lauderdale, we're going to be flying the Frisbee 1 departure. So pretty simple. Straight out departure, 096 on a heading. We'll go to LeBeau, Room, and then YOLO. We'll continue our climb up. If we don't have any ATC, we're just going to climb up to altitude. We won't set the autopilot on until we're at a good altitude, about 5,000 feet. We'll go vertical speed first, and then we'll just clean it up that way. It's a little bit easier and a little more stable than just slapping the autopilot on a low altitude, especially in this aircraft. It can get away from you. All right, anything below 80 knots on takeoff will stop the aircraft. Anything above 80 knots to V1, we're only going to stop on fire, failure, fear, or shear. And we're going to do that by Slapping the idles to idle. I'll throw the speed brakes, pull the reversers, and then we'll get on the brakes and get off the aircraft. Get off the taxiway. We are going to be taking runway 10 left today. Probably going to be parting straight out here. I would venture to guess we'll go down Lima to Charlie, and then straight out on Bravo 1. We'll go Charlie 2 to Bravo 1, or we could go Lima straight to Bravo, go to Bravo 1, which is going to be here. So we're here, we could just come down Gulf to Lima to Bravo 1, out of there. Okay, any questions? Any questions?
No questions.
No questions to be asked. By the way, if you're checking in and you're viewing, go ahead in the chat, say hi. Nice to see where you're hailing from, who's here, who's checking on, all that good stuff. All right, let's do a couple of things now. We're going to have to get the doors closed, but I still see your bags loading, and now we're done. So I'm going to come upstairs here. We're going to throw the APU on the bus. And we'll actually have to turn off these. We'll go back this way and make sure our APU is good. It is. So I'm going to come down here and throw the supplies to the auto. That's going to have to get shut off again. And then air conditioning. I can't really see it very well on this. But you can see air conditioning. That's off. That's on. You can see here we have duct pressure there. So that's what we want to see. All right, let's go ahead and shut the aft service door, and then we'll run our checks. I just got to throw the pump on really quick and then close the door. All right, we're done. Come back over here. We'll shut the pump down. We're going to taxi on one engine just because it's slightly easier with this airplane. And the way I've got to taxi it, it's so goofy right now, I can't figure it out. So it's just one of those things. All right, release the GPU. We don't need that on now. All right, we're good to go. I'm going to go ahead and just take this thing and put it on airplane mode. It's on flight mode now. I'm going to go ahead and pull that off for a minute. Let's go. You folks ready? I am. Let's do a before start checklist. I've got galley power. Excuse me. I've got, yeah, that's after start. So let's do a before start check. Okay, thanks.
No problem. Have a safe flight.
Before start check.
Parking brakes.
Set.
Doors.
Closed.
Startup and pushback clearance.
Approved. Collision lights
Before
on.
start check completed. Ready for engine start.
Let's go. We're gonna start up number 1 first, so the left engine. Start left engine.
Starting left engine. Left start valve open. N2 oil pressure.
All right.
N1.
%of
Fuel
N2. Here comes the fuel. Timer.
Fuel
Fuel
flow.
on.
EGT. Left start valve closed.
All right, we're firing up. All right, power's good. Back in the saddle. Back in the
Stabilizing.
saddle.
Stabilized.
Okay, I do not want to start both engines just because, like I said, it gets away from you real quick. So I'm going to come up here and make sure we've got these on, center pumps coming on, both sides, there we go. And we'll go ahead and turn the APU. We're going to keep the APU running I am going to throw this to the right side. We can get some air flow into the aircraft. Landing altitude, I do have to set that up. Landing altitude, I believe, is 800 feet. So it's about 815 feet, give or take, right around there. That's good. Good set. All right, we're going to start taxiing the aircraft right now. Where is... No. Calm up. Fort Lauderdale traffic, Riptide 5800, taxi, runway 10 left. Okay, brakes coming off. Brakes are off in the aircraft, and we'll start rolling. Now, one thing I am going to do is kind of pull it back just a little bit. And I have to do this because of the way it taxis. I have to be able to see the tiller right here. Come on, airplane, let's roll. Slightly more power it's going to take getting this aircraft rolling just because of the weight. So we could start both engines, and you know what? I'm just gonna do that right now. Even though we're pretty darn light, we got a lot of fuel. So I am gonna start the right engine. Start right engine.
Starting right engine. Right start valve open. N2, oil pressure.
We're just gonna do this. That'll be a little quicker. We'll have to deal with this when we're pretty light. We are light when we land.
Fuel on.
Fuel's coming on. Fuel on. Time check. Time's coming in. Chrono up.
Fuel flow. EGT. Right start valve closed.
Good power. Good deal. Okay, I'm going to go galley power.
Stabilizing. Stabilized.
Welcome on board our flight today. This is the lead flight attendant speaking.
Galley power on. I'm going to throw the APU off. And I'm going to throw the APU air off. Okay, we got 2 good starts.
Regulations require compliance with this information.
Electrical loads. I just want to check that while I'm sitting up here. Electrical loads.
By inserting the metal tip into the buckle. Tighten by pulling on the belt to release your seatbelt.
Left and right are good, and our bat is
It is our policy that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times while seated.
DC amps and load is good as well. APU should be coming off. Let's go ahead and call for ignition. Ignition should be off. That is. Alright, let's call them for after start. After start, check.
Ignition.
Off.
Electrical loads.
Checked.
Air conditioning supply.
Auto.
Galley power.
On.
Ice protection panel.
Set.
Cover your nose and mouth with the mask. Place the elastic band around your head and tighten by pulling on.
Set and checked.
Pneumatic crossfeed valve levers.
Closed.
Your seat bottom cushion
Flight controls.
as a flotation device. Pull up and remove the cushion.
Set and checked.
Upon exiting the aircraft,
Hydraulic pumps
place your
and
arms
pressure.
around the cushion and
Checked.
hold on to the straps located on the back.
Checked.
This is a
High.
non-smoking flight. Smoking is not permitted
Set and
in
checked.
cabin or laboratory.
Annunciator panel.
Cabin lights will now be
Checked.
turned off.
Ground
Green
equipment.
light buttons
Removed.
are located above your seat.
All clear signal.
Thank you for your attention.
Received.
Flaps, slats.
Set.
After start check completed.
We are cleared on the left.
We are clear on the right.
Taxi check.
Fuel heat.
Not required.
Flaps and slats.
Set. 11 degrees. Takeoff.
Eperbugs and TRP.
Set. Checked.
Takeoff speeds.
No changes.
Takeoff briefing.
Performed.
ATC flight guidance systems and nav aids.
Set and checked.
FMS.
Set and checked.
APU air and master switch.
Both off.
Brake temperature and pressure.
Checked and set. Checked.
Taxi check completed.
All right, folks, let's go. See how the airplane's gonna kind of do its thing here. It's not really fun to do it this way, but there's nothing else I could do. You know, so we've got to makes this just a little easier with the tiller, but still, idle thrust, letting the airplane do its thing in terms of power. Yeah, I have an extra joystick that I'm thinking about getting it to work with this thing in terms of the access points and stuff like that. It will get away from you if we're not ready. So we're going to take this all the way down to Bravo, and we're on our way. First one's Lima. We're going to have to slow it down. See what I mean? Like idle thrust, the thing just goes with both engines lit. It's kind of a tough. And I don't know why it's doing this. Like, I didn't want it to do it, but it's doing it. So I'm going to have to actually slow down. You almost have to slow down to a crawl on these turns, because the aircraft does not respond very well to it. You know, it'll start getting away from you again. We're going to lead the turn. This is a MD-80, so we're going to lead that turn, get that nose all the way across, and then roll. There we go. It's a very long aircraft. It's not like a 7.3, where it's a little shorter. This thing is a long airplane, so the wheels are way, way far back. The main gear is way behind you, so it's a little rough. Okay, we got time here to do lineup checks and everything else like that. We got 4,000 feet set there. Flight directors are on. The aircraft is taxiing normal now, which is good to see. I'll take a picture of that. There we go. So Thanksgiving, we're going to be flying a Southwest flight. We got to get that done. And then I think we're on the road again. Actually, Monday for patrons. If you're a patron, you could you'll see this return flight. We go return back to Fort Lauderdale. I got an aircraft on final. I didn't hear him. Oh shoot! I need to be taxiing with the actual dealie there. See how the aircraft is getting a little quick. We'll see how we do. We're just zipping along the taxiway. It's like it just wants to go with no input from the pilot, really, just to get it rolling. All right, we're gonna slow down.
Right traffic, 3 wings, 1230, stay nautical on and final runway 10 right, Denver.
Yeah, he's.
Sorry.
I was gonna say Denver. Yeah, he's lined up on 10 right. You can tell. Glad he made the call. Man, this thing is brutal. It is hard to taxi like this. It looks like I might need a joystick or something to really slow it down. Here we go. I'm gonna stop right over here. Get out of somebody's way. We'll set the brake, and right right there. I'm just going to go ahead and set the brake because the aircraft will creep on us. See how it's starting to creep now? So let's set up the brake here. I'll lock this and let's do our checklist. Cabin crew, please be seated for takeoff. Lineup check.
Cabin.
Secured.
Windows.
Left side closed.
Right side closed. Annunciator panel.
Checked.
Ignition.
Set to alpha.
Air conditioning supply.
Auto.
Transponder set to TARA. Takeoff clearance.
Received.
Lineup check completed.
Ready.
Ready. Timing.
All right, here we go. Brakes off. Very hard to see that, folks. All right. I'm going to jump in the flight deck here. Well, we're in the flight deck, but I'm going to... Yeah, there we go. Just going to get my my movement, my hand movement ready. Lauderdale traffic, Riptide 5800, taking runway 10 left, Lauderdale. All right, you folks ready to go? I'm going to push up the throttles here just a little bit, get all that runway we need. Bring it up to 1.4 EPR and kick it on here.
Still traffic, spare wings, 1230, landing runways 10 left for Lauderdale.
Put up our departure. Oh, now it doesn't want to go on me. It's funny. I'll rotate my my charts. Oh, night. These Navigraph charts are fantastic, by the way. I love them. Really cool. All right. You see what I mean by taxiing? I got to look down, roll the tiller. Columbus, here we come. Final looks good. Hold on, airplane, hold on. Lights coming on, folks. Okay, we're lining up. Nice and slow, once we get it straight, then I could kind of take over again. But it's really wonky. Okay, that's not straight, but that might be. Okay, we got good power, here we come. Alright, we'll bring it up to 1.4 on EPR. Push them up, push them up, push them up. And full throttle on. Toga, here we go.
Takeoff thrust set.
Takeoff thrust is set. Clamp.
knots.
80 knots.
Cross check. Come on, airplane, what the crap?
V1. Rotate.
Positive rate.
Positive rate.
Gear up.
Gear up selected.
Gear up.
Heading select. Engage, heading select.
Heading select engaged.
Select climb power.
Climb power is set.
Climb thrust set.
Engage nav.
Mach
Engage.
select engaged.
No. Arm navigation.
Mach select engaged.
Arm
Navigation is
navigation.
armed.
Thank you.
Navigation is armed. Gear up selected.
Vertical speed.
Speed checked. Flaps 28 set.
No, what are you talking about? Flaps up.
Set.
Flaps up.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Flap 0.
Okay, this thing is stupid. The reason why I wasn't talking is because the microphone's on, and as you could see, he does stupid crap. Climb check.
Slats retract.
Climb check. Idiot. Alright, folks. We're going to go ahead and set the autopilot on. We're pretty stable right now. We're going to go ahead and click nav is on. I'll click VNav. Autopilot is now engaged. The airplane is going to drop. Nose is going to come down. It should have speeds low. I see that. So technically speaking, we should have slats out to help us. The aircraft should go low. You see how this master caution's on? We have an ART in op coming up. And we're just going to watch the airplane do its thing. It should start pitching down. Should gain altitude or airspeed. We have a VNav climb. We're on the track. I'm just going to kick that and watch our airspeed and make sure we're good. And we're going to click climb right now. There's climb. Alright, lights coming off now. I think we're stable enough. I can turn those off. That's off. And he needs to do his dang climb checklist. Climb check. Cancel last checklist. Cancel last checklist. Cancel last checklist.
Stabilizer motion.
Oh my gosh, hang on just a minute, folks. This thing is acting stupid.
Speed select engaged. Speed checked. Slats are extended.
What?
Wipers off.
Slats up. Slats up.
Speed checked. Slats are extended.
Slats up. I got the dang airplane, dude. Dude's trying to kill me. Always trying to kill me, this autopilot. He's an idiot. I'm trying something here. It says confirm, kill all active flow, sound operations. No. I'm trying to get it to straighten up and fly right, but it's not. Like, it's got to do its checks and stuff, and I can't get the climb working. So it's very annoying, very frustrating when nothing works. Really frustrating, actually. Hey, what's up, buddy? E3N, I got mine during last sale. Yeah, this is a cool aircraft. I kept waiting for it to go on sale. I might just need to go ahead and get it. The widescreen is back. Is it? I don't know. They're probably going to have a sale too. I would hold off, John. I mean, honestly. They are going to have a sale. Hang on just a minute, folks. I got to get this stupid crew working. And he's not working. Climb, check. Cancel checklist. Cancel checklist. Let's try this again. Climb check. He's not going to do it. I will. What I hit and how do I get out of it? I got a bigger problem, folks. I can't get in the flight deck. This thing is insane. Alright, I got it. That's coming off. That's coming off. That's why you have to know your flows. Because he's an idiot. So, once the idiot stops doing what he's supposed to be doing, you got to do what you got to do. And we'll see if we can get him to work for us here. Through 10,900. Oh, try checklist cancel. Checklist cancel. Climb checklist. Nothing. Can you hear me? Unbelievable. Looks like we're on our own, folks. No problem. It's nice when it works, but when it doesn't, it's a
set.
Real... Climb check. I don't know. I don't know what it's doing. I don't think it knows what it's doing. Okay, we got the climb check. We're done. I'm going to go ahead and throw this back to normal 30. It's done there. Right? I think that's 30 right there, right? I can't tell. So we're going to have to get in there a little bit. Okay, there we go. There's 30. All set. All right, we're coming up to Alonso, and we'll start our turn. to the north here just a little bit. We're at 12,000 feet. We're doing good on the speed. The speed's a little slow for me. Flaps are up. We're looking good. I know we're an MD-80, and I know she's a sluggish little aircraft, but that's pretty cool. The lighting's just pretty sweet on this airplane. I gotta tell you, the lighting's awesome. It's 250 knots because I'm holding 250, and I'm actually gonna go to vert speed again. It should take it. There we go. So it says altitude 25,000. I'm going to go ahead and turn that up to 34, and we'll do our climb. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and set this. Done. Let's see if it can do a transition. It might not be able to. Yeah. I think the autopilot. You think the FO has drank too much? Yeah, I agree with you. I think the FO has had way too much to drink tonight. Shouldn't be flying this route, that's for sure. We got to do it all. We do it all. You got to know your flows, right? And I got my flows written here. I actually took some time and wrote out the flows, the whole 9 yards, just for this reason. The airplane's climbing through 13 sound. We'll see if he could do a transition. How's that? That's what I'm hoping he does, is a stupid transition. So hopefully your week was good. We just ended up seeing a movie called Spirited. It's with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds, I think. Ryan somebody. I don't know who the guy is. It's a musical, which I didn't know. I don't like musicals, but this was okay. It was a good story. But if you like musicals, you'll love it. Go to it. You'll like musicals. If you like musicals. If you're not the musical type, it's still a good story. Good message to it. You know. But you know how it goes. Sometimes you're like, I don't want to do a musical here. But you do it anyway, right? I'm turning down some lighting here just to help us. When we get to 20,000 feet, we're going to go ahead and turn the lighting off. I just want to see, this is awfully bright. My goodness gracious, this thing is awfully bright. That is off. The panel is full blast. Why would he do that to me? You shouldn't. All right, it's through 16,000. Let's see if we can get this putz to do the transition. Yes, I called our first officer a putz. I'm very verbally abusive to him today because he is an absolute moron who can't do anything right. He almost killed us out of Boston. So let me tell you something. I'll skip it. That's that's a good idea, Dad. All right, let's see if he does this. Transition now.
Check.
No. Transition.
Check.
Now.
Check.
Are you a moron?
Autoland armed.
No. Cancel.
Check.
Cancel. Cancel last checklist. Such an idiot. Transition now.
Check.
Climb check. This thing's stupid. You're stupid. You're an idiot. What's this land crap he's just done to me? Auto land. No. Auto land? What are you talking about, idiot? If that's going to flash all day, I'm going to be really mad. Alright, let's go ahead and set our own altimeter now. 2909 or 2. This guy's an absolute moron. can't do anything, right? There we go, 290902. I might as well just close the program down, tell you the truth. If you get a sequence off, or if they're off on a sequence, it ruins the experience. So it's not, if you were ever thinking about, oh, let me, think twice, because when it works, it's great, but when it doesn't, it's really frustrating. And you're trying to, you're a high workload situation or something like that, it's a real pain in the neck. All right, let's go VNav. This thing's so stupid. It's gonna flash on me the whole time, man. We need to fire him. Yeah, we need to fire him. We're the first one to fire him. All right, I'm turning the lights off because the moron can't. So let's go ahead and turn off the lights because he's too stupid. Strobes will keep on. Anti-collision lights will keep on. And that is it, folks. We are now in the dock. On the dock side. All right. We are still on the... I'll show you the charts. Where the heck we are. On the departure. Movie maps on, flight follow on. Actually, I'm going to keep that on. Well, actually, turn it on. I'll hide this. Let's go ahead and pull up the charts. I'll show you where the heck we are. Airplane's at 23,000. I'm finally in training at Coastal. That's good. Restart FS2 crew. I should. Will it see the entire thing? Okay, take a look at this. I'm actually going to go and click night mode and just kind of get rid of that. That's where we are. We're headed up through Lake Okeechobee, right over the top of that thing right now. We've got Wapham, and then we go to Stymie, whatever you want to call that. And then once we're done with that, we are done with the departure. We're still on the departure on this pink magenta line until we hit this Stymie waypoint, and then we're going to fly pretty much straight up the gut here. We're going to fly over Ormond Beach, and I'm going to tune Ormond Beach VOR right now. It looks like we won't get a VOR for a bit, so I'm going to tune in Ormond Beach 112.6. So I'll plug that in there, 112.6, Ormond Beach VOR. We do have it about 122 miles away. And we're hauling them. We got climb on there. We're climbing through 26,000. We have some nice emojis. Yes, by the way, Sean, I don't know. Are you online, Sean, right now? I don't know if Sean's there, but if he is there, if you could post an invite. I'm going to put an invite to our Discord channel on here. I don't do that enough, and I need to do that. It's the FSBN Discord channel, and you all should be members if you're not. So I wonder if we can get you into Discord. I want to post that Discord invite for those folks who are not members of it yet. You might not be. I'm going to have to pull it up and do the whole thing. Oh, Sean's there. Sweet. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it, man. And Sean is he's like our mod. He like does everything. Sean is that guy who's just like, I'll do it. And it's like, okay, he's really good. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the help and all that stuff. So 28,000 feet. What are we going to chat about? I'm going to have this stupid flashing land thing. I think until we capture, it's going to do that, right? And then it'll hopefully stop. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's take a look out the window. There's nothing to see, folks. It's just some clouds. By the way, we're not using MSFS weather today. We're using Rex weather. I really want to see how Rex weather does with updating and all that stuff. It's been pretty darn stable. And let me tell you, Rex weather draws the weather better than 2020 does. At least in the terminal environment. I don't know really about the cruise environment might be a little bit different. Can I be a member for your Discord, sir? Of course. We're gonna get an invite to you now. I think Sean's gonna hook it up. He'll throw. And you can't do it, Sean. I sure can for you. So I could do it. I just didn't know if you were there or not. Let's see. We got lights up there. And we'll get that going just for a minute. I wanted to see something. These... Where is it? This terrain, we're in high filter. Okay. 31,000 for 34,000, and there is no one online. Oh, I forgot to do something. Huh. Oh, I hate when I do that. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and restart this stupid thing. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Sean, you might need to share it, Jason, if links are restricted. It shouldn't be. You have full control. That's weird. Sean has full control over that, and if you don't, let me know, because you should have full control over that. All right, let me go ahead and try to my airplane falling out of the sky. You guys let me know if that's happening. Okay, we're climbing through 33. They removed. Try that. Remove the spaces. I don't understand. What does that mean? Let me see. Let me see really quick. If I click this, invite people, maybe. Well, if I click. Okay, I don't know what this did. What do you mean, not in chat? No, what are you talking about? No, I do it in chat. I'll do it in the chat. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to copy the link here and just post it. That, let me know if that doesn't do it. Does that do it? 33,000 for 34,000. And we've got altitude acquired. Right, and his flippin' land is gonna kill me. Nav tracks on. VNav's good. This dumb land thing. Nav track. Got it to shut up. Good. Got it. Alright, I hear some people chiming in. That's good. Yep, that's going to be our Discord channel. Kind of all of these, when there's flight changes and stuff like that on the schedule, you'll see it there. Also, there's a whole bunch of cool stuff in there. Now, Coastal, getting back to Coastal, who said they're starting training? I think it was you, right, John? John said he's starting to... He's finally in training. Well, you have been in training. You have been in training for a bit. Cool. All right. Anyway, there's the link, folks. If you can see that link, and truth be told, I'll probably be posting that link on the description as we press through. Now, one thing we forgot to do, which I have to do right now, is, you guessed it, good old legs management. So there's our waypoint. We're off of the arrival, the SID, or the standard instrument departure. We're done with that. And we're going to be flying into the... Yeah, you're actually flight training now. That is correct. You're out of ground school. That's really good. You're out of indoctrination, and you're doing flight school. If you look below the aircraft, I don't know if you can see it out the window, but if you could see this out the window, folks, that is Orlando. We're headed right to it. Orlando is really, really a cool airport. We've got to visit that one of these days. I'm going to try to peek over the top, give you give you folks a nice little view of Orlando International Airport. There it is. And there we go. We're at cruise altitude. It's pretty darn smooth. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the seatbelt signs. Let the coaches get up and yell at the players, because that's probably what they want to do at this point. I know if I was a Ranger coach, I'd be doing that. Dang near every night. Yelling at the team. How stupid are you? Right, anyway, don't get me started on it. Oh, do you know they went into overtime again? Oh, and do you know they lost again? Just want to let you know. They lost again, folks. I can't catch a break. I'll tell you right now. All right, let's go into the FMS. We're going to do it old school. How do we do this old school? We click route data. I want to start looking at a couple things now. Oblique, or Olbeck, if you want to call it. 247.82, what do you got? 247, that is not going to work. So we're going to go 247/82. And that's going to set the winds up. And then remember, we're looking for changes. 248.106. Oh, it's only going to get better. 248.106. That is welcome to winter. Look at those winds now. The winds are up. And then Harvey is it's getting worse. 246.128. 246/128. And that's hooray.
Land Orlando traffic, this is United 513 at gate 83, pushing back with the tail to the northwest on that traffic.
250 and 165. Those winds are going to be wicked strong, folks. They are strong, strong, strong. And that's it. We could do our descent. We could do our descent forecast. Probably what I'll do now is look at the descent forecast. And if you're wondering where I'm getting the wind data from, is if you look at the release here, if it's more than 10 degrees or 10 knot difference, you have to put it in. Now, the 737, if you're flying the NG3 on 2020, really nice because it just data links it and it dumps it in the FMC. Well, we're flying a 1989 aircraft, folks, with 1989 technology / 1960 technology, right? So they don't have that capability right now, so we actually have to dial that into the FMC and plug it in as we go. And then our descent, we'll go ahead and calculate. We're at 340 now, so we'll go 30, 24, and 18, and we'll dial these numbers in on the back end for that. So you can see we're going to go 26, 128, 27 at 97, and 28 at 83. So very important numbers. Click descent. We're going to click forecast, and you're going to plug in your altitude. So we're going to go 300, plug that in there, and then we're going to go 240, plug that in there, and then 180, plug that in there. So you've got 30,000, 24,000, and 18,000, and at 30,000, it's 26 at 128. 26 at 128.
Orlando traffic, Spirit 195 is at airside 1, taxiing Bravo 5, Charlie, Bravo to hold short, runway 36 right at Charlie, Orlando.
What's the airplane doing? I don't like when it says that. Alright, we're done with all that now. All that nonsense. Cool. Alright, I'm good. Oh, I'll go ahead and back you off. I'm going to actually put this up a little bit on the range, just so you can see kind of where we're headed. That's 320 knots, 300 knots. But I like it to about 160 miles on a flight like this. Pops, he's going to bed already. Have a good night, Pops. We'll see ya. He must have set it up there. I didn't see it. Oh, there it is. Good night, Pops. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I gotta watch the Ranger game. That's on tonight. That's what I'm gonna do tonight. That's tonight's list for me. Is watching the game. Okay, we got about 2,000 pounds in the center now. John, if you're John D, there's two Johns. John D, if you're you've got 304, which is an easy flight. I think it's just a one landing, but you got to make sure the weather is crappy. You got to really drop the minimums down to where the minimums are. So, and how you do that is it's different in FS 2020 because you don't have visibility, which is stupid. If you put the cloud layer low and you put the cloud layer right at the minimum level, and then you increase the humidity, it'll really fog up the thing, and that's what you want. So that's kind of how you would achieve that crappy weather that we're looking for. And literally 404 is one landing. I think you take off, you fly an approach, an HGS approach, you're done. And then you go right into the LOE check ride series. And those flights are pretty much cakewalk.
Traffic, it's 513, airside 4.
501, 502, and 503, I'm getting you used to the website. You'll get your sign in at 503, so when you hit 503, just text me on Discord. Let me know, hey, I'm hitting 503. Obviously, I'll watch 501, 2, and 3. All right, cruise. Hang on, I just have to set this to cruise. There we go. All right, and then once we're there at 503, you're going to get your login for the website, and then 503 you actually fly a revenue generating flight just to get you used to the ACAR system and the website. 504 is a live check ride, so that's going to be, you'll have to text me, we have to schedule something where it's going to work for our schedules. It'll be a live check ride, a quick one, but it'll be a check ride off the network, obviously. Anyway, and then you're done, dude, and then I'm going to send you a whole bunch of crap. Bag tag I got for you. I'll get an ID made up for you. By the way, these ID tags, it's going to look like this. I don't know if you can see it, but it'll be this one in front, the small one. I give every pilot that graduates. They get one of those. If you want this guy, just let me know. And the lanyard, that's different. Also hats, these caps, I am selling. If you want a cap, you want a coastal cap, let me know. It's an unstructured hat. It's a new era. I think it's 920. It's a 920 cap. It's not a trucker style. It's real nice. I like it. And then shirts and all the merch and stuff that we have. And this shirt, I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't see it yet, but if you can see... You probably can't see, but the back of this shirt has all of our dates, our flight dates that we're taking the MD-80, which is cool. And that's located right there on Fly Coastal, flycoastalairways.myspreadshop.com. And that's it. Now, I submitted it, got it nice and low. Oh, good. Sweet. Broke out right at 100 feet. Good. Good. I'm going to watch that. So you're done. Are you done with, you're done with 404? If you're done with 404, dude, go right into 500. Just go right into 501. I'll watch 404 and then I'll catch you on the back end. I'm going to be honest, the hard part's over. Just the only thing I would, the only gotcha there in 500 is the MELs. So you look at the student manual and you'll see what MEL you have to comply with. And it's essentially, the 500 series really, can you dispatch? That's it. Can you dispatch and read weather? That's kind of the whole point. And you don't have to do the whole flight. I mean, film the whole flight. You film the takeoff, climb, stop it at 10,000, do the flight, and then kick it back on the descent through 10,000. So basically takeoff and a landing. Make sure your dispatch is good. Use the procedures, and it's cake. The hard part's over. XP Aviation says, what do I got to do to graduate? So are you familiar with, have you applied yet to coastalairways.com? In the future. Okay, yes, XP, the World Cup starts in a few hours. Can't wait. Maybe we can get U.S. soccer charters. Yeah. Holy cow, I'll tell you what. This NHL charter thing is kicking my hide. I mean, it's good. It's making us money, but just to understand, like, we uplifted. How much do we uplift? We uplifted. Dang it. Did you guys see? I'm going to have to write down the figures. I'm getting slack on my... By the way, I filled up an entire logbook already. 100 flights I've done for Coastal now. And I'm working on this is 101. And you can see here, departure FOB. I did think we had 9,200 and 9,200, and I believe the center tank was 7,100 pounds. Right around there. We're going to give it that. The best part is it's all filmed, so I can go back and look and say, hey, did we get it right? I'll start looking at some weather here for us in Columbus. Just to see what the Columbus is doing right now. The weather in Columbus, it is gusty. Ooh, shoot. 290-22 gusting 30. Oh, yeah. In the MD-80, this is going to be a ride, folks. This is going to be a ride. If we were in a 737, it would be, it would be sporty, but this is the MD-80. And things in the MD-80, it doesn't fly like a normal jet, I got to tell you. The MD-80 does not fly like a normal airplane, all right? It's flown by trim tabs. Literally flying trim tabs. You're not flying anything else. You're not flying actual flight controls. And there's a delay. And it's archaic. It's delayed. Oh my gosh. This is going to be fun. If the weather holds like this, you guys are in for a treat on the landing. I'll tell you right now. That is going to be brutal. I've got to see what the runways are going to be doing. But we have that in store. We'll figure out why. I think there's a cold front pushing through, if I remember correctly. I looked at the weather earlier, but I got home so fast. Let's see. We've got... What was I looking for? I was doing something. Oh, yeah. This is going to be 25,500. Now, that's a lot of fuel to uplift. You know, we took... How much gas did we take here? 77.50. We took 17,000 pounds of fuel, give or take, right? So 17,000 pounds of fuel times 1.38. We spent... Okay, just letting you know on this, $23,000 just in fuel. That doesn't include crew cost, nothing. Okay, so the first hour is all fuel. So we're not making any money until we're into an hour. Okay, once we get to an hour, you can see the Florida coast. Look how pretty that is. We're flying right up through St. Augustine. We passed Ormond Beach already, about 28 miles behind us. There's St. Augustine. We're going to pass that. And then we've got Mayport. We can probably not get that. I'm looking for another VO. Stupid thing. I'm going to turn this thing off so I can see what I'm doing. Hold back. We're coming straight up. I don't see any VORs. I mean, there's a few VORs that we're going to take a look at. I'm actually going to turn in to airport here. Let's see if it's too much data for it. Yeah, you see how it's so cluttered. It's good to have that up just to know where your airports are. Yeah, the MD-80 is a bear. It is a bear to fly. It's heavy on the flight controls. It's delayed. Everything's like a half-second delay, which is about normal, I guess. But when you're trimming the aircraft and you throw trim in and you just like click it once, you won't feel the response for about 2 seconds. With 1/1000, 2/1000, it's like a nice little lag, and then the trim kicks in. So you're always flying the airplane behind a little bit. You got to be like way ahead of it, going, all right, I know I need up trim, and I need it like in 5 seconds from or a nose-up trim, you know. So you gotta. It's so weird. Just a really weird airplane to fly with handling. It's just odd. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's just a weird bird, you know. But it's fun. It's a fun airplane. And by the way, people from Coastal, if you sign up and you go through and you get hired, you go through the training to qualify as a MD-80 pilot, you'll have to go and get, first of all, you have to be a captain at Coastal. You have to have 100 hours, that's the minimum, with Coastal Airways as a captain. And then you upgrade. You can upgrade into the MD-80. And really, it's a series of like 2 flights in the MD-80. It's just a checkout. So it's nothing, you know, it's nothing like anything like the 737 training is. So, which is good. It's just a little flight, a little checkout, some maneuvers, and you're done. And then you're checked out to fly charters. Because this aircraft that we use here at Coastal, this airplane, is nothing but charter operations. And a spare for right now. When we need a spare, if we need a spare to throw in the line, we'll use this aircraft. Now, it will be shifted and taken out of service. Some of our 737s will have to go into maintenance. So when that happens, we need an aircraft to supplement the schedule. And you're looking at it right here, the MD-80. So not ideal, but if we can get pilots trained, now ideally is we buy a 737 for spare. That's for spare. I don't see that happening for quite a long time because they are expensive and they cost a lot of money to obtain them. Yeah, it's a bit laggy. It's a bit laggy on the flight controls for sure. It's very sluggish. And you're just flying trim taps. I mean, that's what you're saying. You're essentially flying the trim. So it's definitely an interesting system. Oh, that's right. World Cup is going on, isn't it? Gosh, that's crazy too, isn't it? A lot going on with World Cup. All right, let's go ahead and get an update on this one will be here. It says what? 0430 on the ETA. Right now it's 03. So we're looking at an hour and 30 minutes, folks, before we're probably touching down. So essentially an hour, and we'll take that 30-minute for descent. Oh, I gotta stretch my legs. Can we hire a maintenance person? We could, sure. The cool thing is it's already done. Like the maintenance stuff, it's already factored in there. It's all baked into the program. So if it's tracking every flight hour, it's tracking the maintenance on all the aircraft. Plus, if you land hard, you'll trigger a maintenance inspection. It pulls the aircraft out of service for the other pilots, and they can't fly it. So the airplane can be pulled out of service for maintenance. This airplane was actually pulled out of service because of the CSD. We lost the CSD drive, but we were able to fix it that night. It was a constant speed drive for the generators. It went out on us somewhere over Texas. We were flying from Fort Lauderdale to Phoenix, and we popped a generator. And we could never get the CSD back online, so we had to fix it in Phoenix, which cost us about $2,000, which is not a lot of money. But still, $2,000 when you shouldn't have, you didn't want to spend. But that's what you get for flying a 30-year aircraft. You're going to get stuff like that. All right. Local light should be off. I don't know why that was. Should I try FS2 crew again? And see if we can pull that thing up and see if it works, or don't even bother me. Okay, we're up to, I'll give you an idea where we are. I'll pull up our charts. And if you're wondering how do you get on Coastal, you'll have to apply. We're not your typical virtual airline, folks. We're not like a sign and fly where you can just sign up and you're good to go. You can start flying the line. It doesn't work that way. we simulate this. Coastal Airways is simulated like a real world airline and operation. So you're going to have to go through an interview process. Then you'll have to go through a series of training. Before you even see the inside of an aircraft, before you even release to revenue flight, you have to go through. I'll just give you an idea. John is getting to his LOE series, which is the last module we have before release. It's been about 3 months. And John's really good. He's a retired airline pilot for an out, at least a retired pilot that way. So I got to tell you, it's I don't think it's, I wouldn't say it hard. It's hard because it's really not, but it's going to test you, right? It's going to make it fun. I loved it. We have a module called it's in the 400. I think it's 403. It's the one John, that I just saw. It was high crosswind. You max out the crosswind. It's a 90-degree cut, and it's pushing 30, 35 knots, right on the side of the aircraft, like 90 degrees. So you're maxing out max demonstrated crosswind on the 737. And in the approach phase, the winds were up and they're 54 knots straight up sideways on you, right? I mean, we got 600 pounds in the center. FYI, we're going to have to turn off the center tank pump soon just to let us know. Anyway, so John, I laughed because I thought it was the funniest thing in the world, and so did he. He's sideways, like the airplane, such a very severe crab angle where the airplane's like this. Like, I'm not kidding you, it was sideways. It was sideways like this, right? So his nose is pointing this direction. It's 54 knot crosswind. And then when you hit the tree line, it shears down to 34 or 35. So you're getting all sorts of bumps. So he's flying like this, and he starts laughing. And he's like, holy smokes, this is awesome. And then I start laughing because, once you've done it, it's like, holy crap, I cannot believe we're doing this. That's kind of how the feeling is to a short runway, folks. Not like a 10,000-foot runway. Your real estate is only 6,200 feet. So it's not, you don't even have a 7,000-footer. I mean, you're coming in at nothing. So it's just so much fun. And if you think that's fun, then you need to try us. You need to apply, because it's not for the faint of heart, and it's not for somebody who just wants to kick the tires and light the fire. This is not for you. I can guarantee you that. The first module in 301, you're probably going to fail. I'm just telling you right now. You're probably going to get a kickback from me going, not do it again. And if you're the type of person to take defeat and go, I'm not doing this, don't sign up, because that's not who we need, right? That's not who we want. That's not who we're going for. We're going for the pilot who has grit and shows determination no matter what. And that's the people we want. That's who we want flying for us. And we want those folks who can say, you know what, I'm going to get back on this horse and I'm going to get this sucker done. And regardless of what I have to go through to get it done, I'm going to get it done. And that's the pilots we want. That's who we're attracting. We've got a really good wait list. We've got some A320 pilots on there who want to have fun in the 7.3. We have some dispatchers. Looks like we're getting into some bumps, folks. I'm going to turn that light on. I can't see a darn thing off the wings, so I have no idea what it's doing. But it looks bumpy. I can't tell. I see the engine starting out. It's kind of light turbulence right now, so we could turn it on. I'm not too worried because these are hockey. It's a hockey team. It's not like passengers. They are passengers, don't get me wrong, but you don't treat them like the passengers. They're a little tougher. So yeah. Denali, what's going on, man? Long time no see. How you doing? You had to cut it off ASAP. That's awesome. That was great. Matter of fact, when I landed, and because I film all of this first. When I landed, I said, if you put this thing on the pavement and stop the aircraft, it's a pass. Because it's that sporty. You're all over the sky, man. And there is no go around. I mean, you could go around and try it as many times as you possibly can. But there is no, I'm going to go to another airport. That's a fail. You gotta put it on the ground. Oh, that's awesome. But what it does is it gives you that confidence that you could, any type of weather event. I wouldn't say any, but you know what your limits are. You know what the airplane can hold and do, and you know how good it handles. I think that's what the training does. It really pushes you to get a taste of what an airline training is. I mean, airline training's like that, but it's on steroids, right? It's like much more intense. And it's, to be honest, it's 8 hours. It's like 8 hours a day. You're in the sim 4 hours. You're just breathing this stuff. Anyway. I have extremely good centerline even in crosswind. Hire me. It's awesome. Oh, man. That sucks, and I hate that. Unfortunately, MSFS tell me how to crash on takeoff rollout. Yeah, just disable that stupid thing, man. That dumb crash thing. I would disable it if I was you. It just, that there's nothing worse than flying into a perfect long flight. And next thing you know, we got a master caution. We have the fuel, so we're going to go ahead and set the fuel center tanks to the off position. And I don't want to mess with that. We're going to go to the overhead here just so I can see it better. We'll throw the pumps off. Okay, good. Master caution is out. Anyway, so folks, John is going through it right now. John, I don't know if you want to tell them what your experience has been so far with training, but let them know the truth, man. Don't hold back. Let them know how training is, and the type of pilot we're looking for is that, right? If you show grit and determination and you don't get tripped up, because there's going to be times, folks, where I might, one of our trainers might come back and say, you know what, let's do this again. Just to give you an idea, we hired 10. How many do you think are going to get through training? We hired 10. And by the way, there is a time limit for this. There's a 6-month time limit. How many pilots do you think right now is going to get through training? I'll give you the odds of failure. How's that? Right now, as it stands today, I'll give you the odds. What do you think? How many pilots do you think are actually going to get through the training process? Denali said I was getting off for Denver at 4 hours and 9 minutes. Oh, I never got going. Going to try it again tomorrow. Well, sorry about that, man. It's been super stable. Like I said, I knock on wood. But for me, it's been super stable. The training is a marathon. You just have to keep plugging through it, but it's worth it. Oh, that's good. It is a marathon. I say that, and I don't think people really understand until you actually get into training. You start doing it, so you're like, oh my gosh, I have to do another ILS again, or I gotta have an engine fire in IMC again. It's there's some repetitive flights to it, but it's done for a reason, right? We're trying to get you familiar with short runways and crappy weather, because our destinations are coastal. Most of them, they're on the coastline, and that doesn't yield great weather in the wintertime. So you got to know de-icing. We go through de-icing and what type 1 is, what type 2 is, what type 5 is, type 4, all of the different types. What is a hot time? What does that even mean? All of those things we talk about, and it's very unique. No other virtual airline does anything like this. They just don't. So I haven't seen it. It's one of those airlines that will push you to the max. When you're done with your training and you get released, guess what? In a year's time, so next year, in 2023, January, we're going to have CQ training. I don't need to do it now because our pilots are not even released to the line yet, but there's going to be CQ training. And by the way, if you're a first officer, guess where you fly the aircraft, folks? Right here. There is no left seat. You fly the right seat. You have to film everything on this side. You fly the airplane on this side until you upgrade to captain. That's unique. No other airline does that. When can you upgrade to captain? I'll tell you when there's actually a line open. So if there's no lines open or no routes opening, there is no upgrading, right? And to upgrade into captain, yes, you have to go through captain upgrade training. So there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot to it, but it's like he said, it's definitely fun. John says 4 pilots. Now, John, I'm not counting you out of step. I'm not counting you into that because I consider you're part of management, so you're not really in that number, right? That 10, you're not a part of, right? Your management, you don't have that 6 months. You can take your time with training, right? Whenever you get it done, you get it done. Because you're our first manager. You're part of the management team, but you still have to do it. So does everyone. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to give you the rate. Right as it stands today, if you sign up, okay, if you sign up and you apply to the airline and you get hired, you have an 80% chance of failing. Just let you know. To wash through the program. 80%. Think about that for a minute. 2. That's how many pilots are going to graduate. 2. Because guess what happens in the spring when it's over? In December, next month is everybody's midterm, essentially. We send a letter and say, you have 3 months left. If you don't pass, you'll be terminated, not eligible for rehire for at least a year. So it's very strict because we have probably about 15 on a wait list trying to get in. And those 15, we might get 5 of those who really want to do it and really want to enjoy doing this kind of thing. So now there's some circumstances, maybe 3 pilots get through it, tops, get through the training, at least on this initial pool run. But it's pretty intense. Again, if you like that sort of thing, and I'll just give you an idea. Our manual is 280 something pages long. It's 280 something or 260 pages. You have number 1 seniority. It's funny. It's all when you get trained, dude. That's what comes back. By the way, I've got the number 1 seniority. See the CS1 right there, and actually that number, John, is the amount in the system. You got to get in the system, then you get your number. So once you get through training, John, then you get your seniority number. You got to get through training. I can't manipulate the system. Oh, there's a bump. Whoa, look at the altitude. There it goes, unwinding. All right, getting through Atlanta. We've got Cleveland Center, DC Center online, but we're in Atlanta's airspace. We're still in Jax, aren't we? Kind of up that coastline. You can't really see. We're in Jacksonville. Getting through. We're going to be in Jacksonville quite a long time. And then we'll transition to Atlanta Center. So we've still got we got some nice crosswinds coming in now, folks. Just to see, it's so ancient you can't even see the crosswind. Vector. Doesn't that suck? Employee number. Yeah, there you go. Your employee number. That's right. But your badge will say when you're actually The CS1 and 2 and 3 is when you're actually is coded in the system. And I'm talking about the back end. But yes, you're right. Yeah. So anyway, XP11, if that's something that you want to do, then we're the right one for you. If you like, operating from a book and having fun, but challenging yourself at the same time, then yeah, you'll want to take a look at us. But that's kind of who's going to make it through the program, is somebody who is gonna get back on the horse, and who's gonna say, you know what, I'm gonna get this done. I'm gonna see this thing through. That's who's gonna do it. It might take you 4 or 5 times to get through one module, because it might be a challenge or whatever it is. It's not that it's hard. I don't think it's hard, but it's definitely a challenge. I mean, we went through the interview process, and I thought, oh, these folks, no, I have one crew, maybe one pilot who get through like the first, they blow through ground school. Ground school, bam, they're done with ground school, no problem. They get through the indoctrination, it's a little slower. They hit the 300 and they just stop. There's the wall, brick wall, bam, because the 300 series is all about technique, flying. Your technique of flying, and it's fun though. But yeah, one of the things that you'll have to do to get in is submit an application on flycoastalairways.com. If you go to that website, drill down to the bottom, it'll say submit your application, your virtual application, and do that. Tell us what virtual, how much time you have on VATSIM. There's minimum requirements there. And then if you do get a call back on an interview, you'll be required to fly the LaGuardia 3-1 visual as your audition. So you're basically auditioning too, because we want to see your skill level up front, and that is a tough approach to fly. So not an easy one to fly either, with no FMC guidance. All right, it's all out the window. It's fly the visual. Okay, so it's 2,500 feet. Fly the LIE, hit Shea Stadium or Citi Field, and roll that aircraft in. And let's see what stick and rudder. It's essentially it's ascertaining your stick and rudder skills is what it's doing. But it's fun. I mean, if you find that, if you're the type of pilot who finds that interesting and fun, by all means, come on in. We'd love to have you. Because once you're in, I don't think you're going anywhere. I mean, you put so much time, blood, sweat, and tears into something. And then, not only that, but every year you get training. We're going to grow, but it's going to be growth dependent on our pilots, right? It's slow. It's going to be really slow. Just because, like, think of this. Like, every flight hour, we're making money, I hope. There's a couple of routes that we don't make money on, just because of the structure. And that's another thing. What virtual airline do you know actually contacts the airports, talks to the managers, and gets the actual pay schedules? We do, and it's all baked in the system. So all of that stuff is pre-planned by me. Like right now, I'm talking to 4 different airports. I have emails out, and they're emailing me back. So again, it's, do I want to can we operate fiscally at this airport? Does it make sense? Is there enough employment? All those things really matter. Is there how much competition between those 2 airports? If we do, can we fill an aircraft, or is it going to be 80% load, or is it going to be a 70% load? Because you're not going to fill an airplane at a really small podunk field. It's just not going to happen. So you'll see often on our schedule we might fly to 2 different airfields. One small, one big, or one bigger, and then a big one. That's done for a reason, because you're going to pack the aircraft going to the big one. LaGuardia, Miami, 2 big airports. You're going to pack the aircraft. We don't make any money on that route because it's so competitive. We can't make any money on it. We actually lose. Every time we fly that route, we lose $5,000. Every time. But why would we keep a route that's not profitable? Because the next flight goes from LaGuardia to Bar Harbor, and we make tons of money on that. That is a money-making machine for us in the summertime. In the wintertime, the load factors have now dropped because it's the winter, right? So who wants to fly to Bar Harbor in the winter? Not a lot of people, right? So normally, probably an airline would actually just do seasonal routes on that one. I don't want to get into the seasonal just yet because it's just too dang confusing. When you have to move all over the place, and we could do it, but I just don't want to do that right now. So maybe in the future. So the load factors have dropped, and the fuel prices have gone up. So all of those things are cooked into the system. Everything. Maintenance costs, pilot costs. By the way, our pilots make money, virtual money that is, but they make money. You guys pay? We do. Virtual money, yes, absolutely. Learning to flow is critical, for sure, just like it is. I have no idea what VATSIM is. Are you kidding? You're just joking me, right? I mean, you might not be, but you'll need 200 hours of VATSIM time. VATSIM, and I don't know if you're being funny, I can't tell. But, yeah, we pay virtual. And, like, one of the things I'm thinking of doing, I haven't done it yet, but I think if a pilot makes, like right now I have 26,000. How much money do I have in my account? I think I have 26,000 in my account, my virtual account. I'm thinking after so many $1,000, you'll get a free t-shirt. Like I'll send you a shirt, a Coastal Airways shirt. You know, and then I'll pull all your money out of the account, to whatever it's going to be. Maybe it's $20,000. I'll pull that out and then send you a t-shirt. Again, it's merit. It's a merit-based system, which is cool. It's teaching life skills. It's really, if you work hard for something, you should get rewarded. And you know, John's going to graduate out here. I'm going to send him a tag. If he wants a lanyard, he can ask. You know, we can send you that too. So, fun stuff. Freebies, stickers. He's going to get a 737 crew sticker. I'm getting MD-80 crew stickers made up. I made this sticker here. I don't know if you can see that. Right there. I'm getting that sticker made, that MD-80 crew. Soon. The 737 is already done, which is cool. I need to retire from Air Canada and fly with you guys then. Yeah. Anyway, some fun stuff, right? I guess it's fun. But again, some people will be like, no way I'm doing that, right? There's no way I'm doing that. And that's cool because it's not for everyone. I can guarantee you that. All right, folks, let's give you an update on time. We said 14:30. It's now 13:30. We're just pushing into Georgia. I'm going to try to show you kind of where we are here and on route. Right there. There's a little guy right there. So we're in Atlanta, or not Atlanta. Atlanta's over here more. But we're pushing through into Georgia. We'll be busting out of Jacksonville airspace, heading over to Atlanta airspace, and then on up to Indy. And then we're going to be in Indy until we land. Cleveland Center's up here, so we'll get into Indy airspace. We'll be in the Indianapolis airspace the whole way. Pretty cool. It's almost going to take us to our airport that we fly into, which is going to be right over here somewhere. Pretty fun. Oh, gosh. Give you an update on the progress here. Let's see what we got. 0433, it's estimating right now. What did our paperwork say? I want to take a look. One thing. I just want to make sure that we're cooking. 0.75. What are we doing? Yeah, we're doing that. Okay. That matches. Just want to always make sure that we're matching what the paperwork has to say in terms of our cruise. Oh, don't hit the yoke. I knew that was going to happen. Well, pilot's back on. Yeah. Denali said, I would absolutely love to fly for coastal, just don't see the time. Being a college athlete, I can fly absolutely max 3 times a week, usually 1 or 2. Yeah, that's perfect. Are you kidding me? 3 times a week. Once you're in, okay, so once you're graduated and you go through training, you're only required to fly once a month. So 3 times a week or 2 a week, that's really good. The only requirement is once a month. Once you're through training, it's simple. Training, you got 6 months to do, but you can't procrastinate your training. That's what a lot of folks are getting into right now, is their procrastination, or they didn't think it would be this difficult or time consuming. So that's kind of where we're at. Yeah, it's time consuming. But if you get through the modules, if you did 1 module a week or 2 a week, I mean 1 module every 2 weeks, that'd be perfect, man. David, where did you get the ACARS program? That is part of our system on the back end. But training would be the issue. I would probably try to time it out so that I have the summer months within my 3 months. Yeah, and that's what you would do. Like John and Nate are going to be done with this training here in the first 3 months of their probationary period, essentially, or their 6 month. They're going to be released probably in 3. I would assume in December, mid-December, John's going to get in, or beginning of December, and then that's it. So, yeah, if you've timed out your training, you have 6 months to do it, right? That's pretty cool if you can do it. Sean, what's up, man? This is an off-topic question. I have to ask you: have you flown? No, I have not flown. The A310 and the Sim 300. No. If you have, what are some early opinions of it? The problem is there's an A in front of the designation. There's no way I'm flying the airplane. This has an A in front of it, which means it's an Airbus, which means it's not gonna. Nope. I'm kidding. The 300 was actually the earlier series Airbus before they got too smart. No, I'm kidding. I haven't flown it yet, and most likely won't. So I couldn't tell you how it flies or anything like that. I don't know. But I'm sure somebody that's watching probably knows, and probably has. Yeah. So this is our, right here, this is our ACARS program, and you can see it's really cool because it's got, we can look up our briefing right here. It's got a lot of cool stuff in it. And I can click the map and then zoom in. We're right next to Columbia in Georgia. We got a couple of, I'm going to try to get some waypoints here coming up. This is pretty. Look at this place. We're flying right next to this, right? This is Charleston. This is one of our airports that we fly into. Charleston, West Virginia. It is beautiful. It's in the Adirondack Mountains. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a gorgeous destination, and that's another thing at Coastal. We try to fly to cool destinations. Charleston's really pretty, and so is... We fly way up here, Bar Harbor, Maine. It's going to be kind of right off the coast. There's Trenton. There's Bar Harbor right there. You can see, can you imagine this airport in the wintertime? That's what we're going through right now. There's a lot of coastal stuff coming through. It makes the snow. It's just nasty. We also fly to Buffalo. They've got like 5 feet of snow right now. So we go Buffalo, Charleston, and then we get in some cool destinations down here and into Myrtle Beach, very high golfing destination, and then over to Miami, and then down to St. Thomas, which is really cool as well. We also go to Key West. We go Miami, Key West, and back. We go LaGuardia, fun airport. Love the city and love flying into LaGuardia. It's a lot of fun. Just really cool. Gary, what's up, buddy? I live in Ohio, so the letter M is a no-go around here. The letter M. Is that Michigan? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. John, yes, there are new routes coming, but we're in negotiations with a couple airports. I'm only going to say that, and there's no way I could expand unless we get pilots released from training, and I can start making us money a little bit more. Then we can buy another aircraft, because we can't expand unless we need money to buy airplanes to expand. So we got to get the money first. How we get the money? We got to get the pilots through the program, and then they got to start flying the line for us, and then we could, start bringing in some cash where we could start. I can lease an airplane. I don't want to. It's pretty darn costly. It's like $150,000, which we could afford. I'm not saying we couldn't afford it, but I just don't want to do that with interest and all that crap. I'd rather just buy it outright. So I'm trying to save, like this airplane, all of our aircraft we bought outright. We own them. So this airplane we got for $9 million. We bought it outright. We don't have any dang money. We do have a little bit of money from last month's. I thought we were to be short buying this airplane. We weren't. We just made it in. We have $1 million of cash in the bank, and that's not a lot of money right now. But that's cash. That's just cash. When you're starting out, it's like, okay, when you're making money, it's slow growth because there's only one pilot really flying the line right now. Like these charter flights help us out, but it's nothing like you think it would be. Like you just heard me say the first hour is free because of the fuel cost, right? The fuel cost is so much money to fly. And it doesn't matter if it's a 737 or an MD-80. I mean, the MD-80 burns a lot of fuel, but this next hour, yeah, we're raking in some money, but it's nothing like you think, right? This is a $20,000 an hour venture. Just to give you an idea, in the summertime, right? So we flew a flight that took, I want to say, okay, just give you an idea. It was a 4-hour flight 6 hours. From LA to Fort Lauderdale. It was something like 5.5 hours. We ended up making $60,000 on that flight. Now that's a lot of money. That's a good return on that. Remember I said that first hour and a half is going to be all fuel costs. And crew costs and stuff like that. Maintenance costs and crew. Every time you fly, you're burnt out maintenance. And we're coming up to the see, there's no lights up here. We're going to get into some interesting areas. We get into the Appalachian Trail here coming up. So you're not going to see, it's going to be not as densely populated as you see now. Are we getting a 757? Can it land at Key West? Probably not. Is it worth leasing the planes out? Yeah. It's good. It could be worth it. I mean, we could afford it. If all right, let's say we had 10 pilots released, and everybody's struggling to get an airplane, because right now we have 3 aircraft, which is great because there's only 1 pilot flying the line. But if I'm flying the airplane, you can't fly it. Does that make sense? So the system will lock it out. So if I took the airplane and I reserved it for a flight, that's it. I've got the airplane. You can't fly that aircraft. You can't fly it. So the system will say, nope, you can't fly it. You gotta have another airplane available. Right now it's fine because there's only 1 pilot flying the line essentially, which is great, right? So we can make, we have 3 aircraft in our fleet, 3 737s, I should say. Now when John gets released, again 2, no problem. I've done that. Let's say we get stacked and we get like 10 with 3 aircraft. Now we might have an issue. We might run into some problems. So yeah, we might have to look at leasing an aircraft. I don't want to lease it just because I want to just buy them outright. But I think we can get pretty good pricing on them. I'm searching for a good price on a 737-700. I've seen them range from like 9 mil up to 20 in that used range, right? So we'll get it done. Get a 777. Probably not going to happen. A 757 I would love to get. Yes, it's one of the airplanes on our radar. I just don't know when that's going to be or if it's going to be. How's that? It really has to make fiscal sense for us to do it. Otherwise, we won't do it. The 737 makes fiscal sense. It's a good, efficient aircraft. Doesn't break a lot. It's a good airplane. It's like this airplane. The MD-80 it's a reliable tank. It's a tank with wings, essentially. The MD-80 is just great. It doesn't break. And if it does break, these things were built to last. Same with the 737. The reliability on a 737 is fantastic. So, really good dispatch rate on that airplane. An A220-300 is never going to happen. It's never going to happen. That will never happen. I will guarantee you this airline is all American. Period. Done. That's the end of that. It's all American. Now, granted, a CRJ, I would love to have a CRJ. I think we won't. Again, not right now. I don't see us having an express division for quite a long time. We're talking years, maybe. Paul, how are you? Paul, I did get I just got your application. Did you get my email? I hope you got that email. The A380? That's never going to happen either. No. That's a big fat no. An A380. Nope. It's built by Airbus. Anything with Airbus in the name is never going to come flying, never going to be painted in coastal colors. It just never will. We don't play Atari at this airline. Stupid side stick bull crap. I'm kidding. I know. I'm not trying to. I have to take a lick every time with an Airbus airplane. No, and to be kidding aside, it's a good airplane. It's a good airplane. It's obviously. It's just cheap. They break and they stink. Otherwise, yes, Titus, I'm technically American. Yeah, you're right. I have, honestly, folks, I have flown in. I have about 6 hours in a level D Airbus, and yeah, the bells and whistles are cool. The technology is cool. It's not my kind of thing. It's just not. It's not a pilot's airplane. Don't touch that, Dave. I'm flying it. That's the autopilot. Don't fly this airplane, Dave. That's my job. That's Airbus mentality. Pilots do not fly. The airplane flies. Let the autopilot do it. And what that does is ingrains automation dependency. And the pilot can't fly their way out of a bag because they're focused entirely on the autopilot. And you could get that way with any aircraft. Don't get me. You can get that way with a 172 for crying out loud. I am old school. Obviously, look at the airplane we're flying today, right? Old school. Stick and rudder skills are essential. I am a huge proponent of that, and so is Coastal. You know where I'm coming from. You know Coastal Airways is always going to be like, you want to do what with automation? Yeah, I don't think so, right? So the autopilot's good. Don't get me wrong, but when you're dependent, it's a problem. And all that does, when you sit there and you go 400 feet, when you hit 400 feet and you go gear up, flaps up, sports page, we got a problem. To me, that's a big problem for me. And that's a red flag. And there's a lot of automation, newer type of aircraft. And don't get me wrong, it's every manufacturer, folks. It's up to the pilot to actually fly the thing. And it's just these days they don't. They just throw the autopilot on. Oh, let's turn it on. I mean, I watched reviewed a crash, because that's my background is NTSB, right? I'm reviewing a crash here. And what is the pilot gets into trouble. The airplane is flying them into the ground, essentially. All right, so the airplane is malfunctioning. The pilots freak out. They initially turn it off, which is smart. Okay, they turn the dang thing off. It's smart to do. Okay. And then they can't figure out what's going on. The next move they make, they turn the autopilot on. And why do you think they would do that? Somebody tell me, why do you think they turn back the autopilot back on when the airplane's clearly not doing what they want it to do? You know? Oh, I'm sure the Airbus has affected them. Yeah, the CRJ is another airplane that you have to fly. The CRJ will get you into so much. You've got to be able to fly the airplane. There's no autopilot. There's no even auto throttle on the thing, which is really, I mean, it's. Look, automation's great for workload, to reduce the workload, and that's what it's for. It's really good that way. But when you get automation dependent, that's a problem. You know, when you're finding yourself flipping on the autopilot at 400 feet or 500 feet, dude, what are you doing? Fly the airplane. Fly the airplane up to altitude, fly it up to 8,000 feet, then turn it on. That's my deal. Now, the airlines don't want you to do that because you save a lot of money when you turn it on quick, because it's more efficient. But, and don't get me wrong, it could be Boeing too, folks. It could be any airplane, any manufacturer with an autopilot. Doesn't matter. But some airplanes are a little more where the pilot has to know what's going on with their systems. And Boeing is like that. You know, you can't fly a 737 and not know what the system's doing, because you're actually manipulating the system. And in Airbus, it's a push button. Start. Dink. All right, what's going on? What is happening with the airplane? Well, I know there's a valve getting closed, but it does it automatically. I'm good. I mean, CRJ is cool like that too, which is nice. Again, pilots love it because it's just, you sit back. All right, I'll give you an idea. This is truth. You want truth? I'm going to hit you off with truth. Now, it depends. Some pilots love the Airbus. I have a buddy who is a major he's a captain, very, 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 very high seniority captain. at a major airline. He went from a Boeing 777 to a 350. And he says, Jason, going from a 777 to a 350 is the equivalent of training wheels on a bike. Period. Now, he and I share the same, we share the same belief about who flies the airplanes. So he understands, I get his deal, right? But when he says that to me, I'm like, yeah. Yep. The manufacturer doesn't want you to fly the airplane. The autopilot flies the airplane. And I think that is a no-go. That's why I'm like, nope. No autopilot's going to save my hide. I'm going to save my hide. Not the autopilot. Me. And how do you do that? You don't be automation dependent, period, on anything you fly, folks. That's it. If the airplane is doing something you don't want it to do, turn it off. And make it do what you want it to do. Period. Stick and rudder skills. So important. I'm going to get off my soapbox because I can go on and on and on and on. Yep. Wasn't the issue with the MAX automation taking over? Yes, it was, right? The issue with the MAX, it was the MCAS system. We need a 707. Now, let's not go too far. I said automation is good, just not automation dependency. It's not so good. The 707 was a nightmare to fly because of the workload. Like I said, if you get any airplane that reduces workload, that's what you want. That's a good thing. You want to reduce and manage workload as much as you possibly can. But do it in a way where you keep the pilot actually knowing what's going on with the aircraft. That's hard to do. Did you get a new computer chair? I did. Yeah, well, no, this is an upgrade chair, actually. This chair is my old chair, but I really took some memory foam. I had some old memory foam in the garage. I cut it. I put it under there, and I bought a car sheepskin cover from Amazon. So I just put some sheepskin over the top to kind of keep it all in place because that foam was kicking off. After that 6.5 hour flight, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't sit down. It's too dang long. We're getting into some bumps here, and I figured that with that cold front passing through. 707. Don't tempt me. That's funny. DC-8. That's awesome. That's a little too old. I do like it, but it's too old. Yeah. In my opinion, the 737 is very fun, easy plane. It is. It's a pilot's plane too. VRAF, Boeing didn't disclose all the information about the system on the MAX to its customers right away. Yeah, that's what happened. Oh, now the 737-200 I love that airplane. Yeah, so let's talk about the MAX really quick. The MAX had MCAS in it. And I'll tell you why Boeing got in trouble, folks. Boeing got in trouble because they're trying to be something they're not. What is that? They're trying to throw technology in an aircraft that was built from the 60s on an actual easel. All right? So paperwork. A slide ruler. That's how the 737 was designed, folks. A slide ruler. Okay? That's why it's such an awesome airplane. Okay, because it was built in the 60s. Design. I'm talking about the 737-100. Okay, in the 60s, late 60s. You take and look at the 730. Look at the NG. There's not much changed from the 60s. Okay, from technology. Yeah, I get it. Upgraded avionics. Great, but look on the overhead. If you get in a 100 and look up, you're like, oh, okay, this looks like a 7.3. Just a little gauges there instead of digital readouts. So we're gonna have to start planning for descent here soon. But the stupid MAX, they put huge engines on this thing, a lot more power, and they had to actually shift the engines forward and up to clear the ground. Okay, that's why the old 200s were tube pipes, big straight pipes coming out off the wing, and then the 300 you had to flatten the nacelles because it had to get ground clearance. There was 3 foot of ground clearance from the bottom of that nacelle to the ground on the 300. So to keep the aircraft the same type, what Boeing had to do is like, oh, we want to put more power in the airplane, which every pilot loves, right? Let's get some power in it. But if we do that, we got to go with big motors. We're going to have to push them up and just slightly lift them and push them out more so they're clear the ground a bit. So they're not hung over the wing. So their pylons are coming out a little bit. Well, when you do that and you slap the throttle and you push the throttle forward, well, guess what the airplane does? The airplane does this. Whoop, and the nose just comes straight up, especially with a high power setting. Now, Boeing has to make the airplane fly like a 737 to keep it the same type rating. So essentially, as a 737 pilot should get into a max, close their eyes and go, yep, I'm in a 737. It should feel and fly like a 737 does. So what they had to do is they had to augment the dang pitch up moment, all right, by installing the MCAS system, which would counter that pitch up moment. So it feels like a 737. Does that make sense? So when I push the throttle up, it actually unwinds the nose to counter that pitch. All right? That's how the MCAS should work. Right? It should unwind the nose to stop. Oh, there's about a 737 pitch, not like this. Again, what were they trying to do is trying to comply with the lowest common denominator. Okay? That's what they're doing. Every pilot knows you push the throttle up, there goes the nose, right? So yeah, the 737 is a lot more aggressive in the max. When you push that up, you got to throw the nose down to keep the same pitch. Well, they're like, well, the FAA is not going to go for that. And they're not going to say it flies like a 737 because it doesn't at this point. You've augmented it too much. So they had to throw the MCAS in there. The problem is they only have 2 data points, not 3. So you need, if you're going to throw a system in there, and they don't tell the pilots either. There's like a paragraph in the ops manual. If you don't tell the pilots that, and you just have 2 systems, and one fails, then what? Okay, so you get some weird crap going on, and that's what happened to the first. The first crew had no idea what happened. You know, the first crash. The second crew, it was a month later. They should have been reviewing that every takeoff. Every takeoff. This is what's going to happen if this thing goes, if it goes to a runaway stab, which we call it. This is what we're going to do. We're going to shut the thing off. We're going to shut the motors off. We're going to get the aircraft in trim by either manual cranking that wheel down, which they had to do, and we're going to fly pitch and power. Pitch and power at this point. So yeah, they took off. The attitude was all messed up because the AOA was going crazy. It was visual. You look out the window. The stick shaker's going off. We're at 85% power. 5%. Look on your standby instruments. 85% power, 5 degree pitch, we're going to climb. Or we're accelerating. For sure. Now, if you were at 50% power with a 10 degree pitch, now I could see something wrong, right? Again, it's that pitch and power mentality. It's the stick and rudder skills, folks. That's what I'm trying to say. It's stick and rudder. They did the right thing. They shut it off. They went through their QRH. They couldn't figure it out, what was going on. They turned it back on. That's what did them in, right there. Things it's in a stall, there you go. It's not good. Boeing really screwed that up. Really screwed that up. Because they weren't they weren't transparent. They didn't say, oh, there's an MCAS system in this thing. It'll augment, it'll push the nose down. They didn't, and the FAA is talking to them right now like, no, there needs to be triple redundancy on this thing. But again, it goes back to the automation dependency, and this is the accident report I read. And they turned it back on. Why would you turn the autopilot back on? The airplane is clearly broken. There's something wrong. Don't turn it on. Don't turn it back on. Like, that's what I mean, folks. Like, automation dependency is not good. It'll kill you. It's not good. Turn the dang thing off and fly the airplane. And nobody teaches it anymore. That's the problem. Nobody teaches it anymore. And that's why I'm passionate about it, because it's stupid. Fly the airplane. Pitch, power, airspeed, that's it. Attitude. That's it. You want to know one of the best flight crews I've ever seen in a high pressure situation? Look this up. United 232. One of the best flight crew. And we're talking about an airplane designed with pen and paper. Okay, we're talking about an airplane that had complete hydraulic failure. Just nothing left. Nothing left. They flew that airplane by throttles, folks. And not a little airplane. This is a DC-10. Throttles. That's how they not only flew it, they actually landed the dang thing. They got it on the ground. Now, it was a crazy landing because they were unfortunately in a downward motion. But throttles. You tell me what new age pilot is going to do that. None. I guarantee you none of them. Because they're too automation dependent. That's why. They can't fly their way out of a bag, and that's my problem. So when it hits the fan, you better hope you have somebody in the front that goes, nope, shut it off. And Airbus doesn't teach that. That's why I don't like Airbus. They don't teach that philosophy. They say, nope, go through the 304,000 data points that we have here on the ICAS system. See you, boss. It's getting late. Good night. See you next week. We'll definitely. It is a good airplane. The Max is a good airplane. They just screwed up on the design. Boeing screwed it up. I mean, I'm not going to lie. They really screwed the pooch on it. But again, it's not all one-sided here, right? If you had a flight crew, and it's easy to play Monday morning quarterback. I'm not saying that, but the human factor part where they turned it back on really says a lot to me on the quality or the stick and rudder skills of a flight crew. The autopilot's not there to save your hide. You are, and that's what needs to be taught. Nobody's going to save you. You got to save yourself. And for whatever that's worth, I'm going to leave it at that. But that's not a sly. That's not a shot against any flight crew that has, or the Max crew. It's not. It's just, it's so easy to say, oh, yeah, you should have done this, you should have done that. It's easy to say that, but when you see the human factors thing and they're turning back the autopilot on when clearly the airplane is not acting right, that tells me a lot as a human factors minor, studying human factors and why humans do the things they do. It says a lot. It's like, ooh, they were out of options, Anyway, I'm getting off the soapbox now. Now you know why I don't like Airbus, folks. There it is. It's out in the open. Some pilots love it. I don't. And that's the reason why. Period. What Airbus aircraft says, turn everything off and fly it? You ever see that in their QRH? And I might be wrong. I don't know. It's got a lot of bells and whistles. It's a really cool airplane for the new age, folks. That's for sure. 787 is the same way, right? I mean, it's got a lot of bells and whistles in it, too. All right. We're getting into some bumps. Let's figure out what we're going to do. We're going to have to get going on this landing. The wind's calmed down just a touch. I'm sure you're really happy about that. And by the way, I'm not knocking Airbus, folks. I'm not. It's just not my thing. That's all. Ramp 9. And like I said, a 172 could get you in that problem too with the new G1000s in it. If I got a G1000 training, I'd be like, I don't want this crap. Get this crap out of. Give me a 6-pack. Get rid of this crap. What is this? Because if you can fly a 6-pack, you can fly a G1000. No problem. But the other way around is hard. What time did we push? Anybody know? I didn't get a push time. Anyway, we got to get going on this. We got a landing. We got Jackson, Cleveland. Toronto, I don't see... We're over the mountains, so we're getting a lot of pushback here. And Henderson, I'm going to tune 115.9, I believe. 115.9. There we go. Charles, how are you, my friend? Awesome commentary. Thank you. I appreciate those words. It's a hard fact that a lot of people don't want to hear. They just don't want to hear that. But it is what it is, right? It's up to the pilot. Really, it comes down to the mentality of the pilot and how they feel and their philosophy, really. 787 is a beautiful airplane. I would agree with you. Yes. 75 is one of my favorites as well. It's such a pilot's airplane. It's so much performance on that jet. I think that's why I like it so much. It's just there's so much performance on it. And it's been just a tremendous aircraft in terms of reliability and just it's beautiful. I mean, it can get out of anything, any airport. It's just there's a lot of kick to it, and I love it. Really cool airplane. All right, top of descent is coming up. Let's go ahead and take a look at our weather here. We got to get going here on top of descent here. Weather information right now in Columbus, Ohio. We've got winds 270 at 16. It's a little bit gusty and windy down there. 10 statute miles visibility. We have sky is scattered clouds at 4,300. Temperature's -4. Dew point -12. Altimeter 30.20. Now, looking at the airport diagram, let's see what we've got. We got 10 right, 10 left, and looks like ILS 28 left and 28 right are in use. Do we know where we're supposed to park? I didn't get. I think we're going to be parking on the south side, if I assume. I don't know if Sean's still on. Sean's really good at this stuff. I didn't look. I have to look right now. Hey, you know what? Where's my phone? I can look right now. Who's getting paid to fly the airplane? Autopilot? I don't think so. That's very true. That's right. But there's some pilots out there who just like, oh yeah, I just want to turn the autopilot on and do nothing. And that's, again, the autopilot's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the autopilot's bad. It isn't. Not even close. Don't construe my words, folks. It's not that at all. I am not saying that at all. I'm just saying that. Trying to get us a spot where we're going to park this puppy. Let's figure this out. Oh, okay. They're not even close to what I was thinking. Are they at a gate? They're in an FBO. Wow, that's weird. Not even close. They're up in... Oh, so weird. Huh. Oh, crap. Okay, we're on the south side, so we're going to go 28 left. Alright, I got where they're going to park now. Exactly, Jason. As pilots, we always have to be able to fly the aircraft. You just have to be proficient and hand fly when the time calls for it. Exactly. Not afraid to do it, right? Okay, so we're going to do 28 left. Let's see what we've got in terms of approaches or anything like that. Looks like we're going to be flying the solo in terms of any... We're not going to have any ATC on board, so that's fine. Looking at approaches, we're going to go 28 left. We're just flying ILS to 28 left. It's going to be fine that way. click that on, click hide. Let's go and brief that. 111.75. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in right now. 111.75. Bing. All right, and then we're going to do 281 on the heading. 281. Excuse me, course. I need to get the course going. 281. Come on. There you go. .281 on the heading. You've got 111.75s inbound. Looks like we're going to just go straight to Hammond, and then we'll cut in. So after HNN, we're going to go direct to Hammond. So let's go ahead and plug this in there. It should be a pretty good transition into it. ILS 28 left, that is correct. Hammond transition. Let's see what we've got. So we're going to go to our legs page and just make HNN. We're going to go ahead and just link that disco up. There we go, and let execute. The MD-80 is a little weird because in the 737 you'll able to do it on the other page, but you have to in the MD-80 you can't. You actually have to do it before you hit execute, or else you're going to have big problems. It's just a quirky kind of system that they got with it. All right, let's click our performance. We're going to go to the landing page. Maybe. There we go. Took forever to get there. All right, we're going to go Kilo CMH to Columbus. Winds right now 270.16, which is really good. It's only 10 degrees off the runway, folks, so we shouldn't have that big of a deal. Famous last words would be like the last time I flew into there. I had to do a go around. It was crazy. Outside air temperature -4. We got to think of icing. I mean, there's a few clouds up there, so we're going to be aware of the icing issues. 28 left. That's what we want. The airport is it's a 10,000 footer. That's plenty. Runway 11. Flaps going to be 1128. That's great. QNH is 3020. 3020. 30.20. Okay, and our landing weight estimating. I'll look at our paperwork because it was pretty darn accurate. And I didn't do a burn check. Normally I would have done a burn check, but looking at our fuel, we're about 110,000, so you figure about 109, 108 when the time we landed, and our landing weight. Our paperwork says 108.4. We should have done a burn check, by the way, but I was yapping, so I do apologize. That's my bad. Oops. Okay. So we said about 108. Actually, I'm going to program to 109 just to give us a little more. You know, that's worst case scenario. 108, it's going to be better. I shouldn't have put a decimal, huh? 109. Is that correct? No, it's not. This thing is 0. There we go. Let's see what we got. Okay, we got landing actual distance because it's 2,800 feet. That's great. 3,400 is what we're going to go with. 3,400, plenty. 28 left. That's great. Auto brake. It's going to be on a medium auto brake. I want to get off the runway as fast as we possibly can to limit our back taxi. Maybe we can get off on Charlie 6. The real aircraft got off on Charlie 5, so they slammed on the brake. They were just slamming on it. Or Charlie 7. I can't remember which one they did. It's pretty cool. Let's see. We have our ref at 131. Okay. We have 28, 131 now. We got to take into consideration some gusts. All right, it's right now at 16, so we don't want to go at 5. All right, I'm going to do, well, I could do 5 because it's only 16. So it's really not gusty right now. Normally you'd want to pad this a little bit, but maybe we can go 7 on it. So I'm just going to plug in a 7. It just gives us a little more margin there. 140, 133, 28 extends. So our V target's 133. We're going to go flaps 1128. Landing distance available is what, 10,114. Landing weight we said 109. That's what we've got. Let's get back in here, take a look. Top of descent is coming. So what I'm going to do right now on this airplane is instead of setting this, I'm going to click, you can click descent now. What is that? Oh, it's my dog. I'm going to clear this. We're going to go to descent. And I'm just going to like this first because the airplane is going to do something really stupid. So I'm going to go with vertical speed. We'll select vertical speed and we'll start dropping this down. And then I'm going to click this and we're going to go vertical speed right now to about 1,100, 1,200 feet a minute on descent. So what this is going to do is it's going to help the aircraft not like plunge vertically, because this thing will. It'll just straight down, and we don't want to do that. So we got to be aware of MSA, that kind of stuff, just because we're not on the arrival. So let's take a look at our MSA. We got 3,100 feet. That's 20 miles away. And it looks like right at the airport. So as it's coming down, you can see we're going to go ahead and break this down even more to 4,000. So I'm going to just put this down to 4,000 here. All right, I'm going to select VNAV again, and then I'm going to pull this out. And now we got a VNAV descent. Here comes the power, and here comes the profile. So we're going to watch the power, profile, everything like a hawk. Go ahead and set our speed bugs. Speed bugs checked, and we're going to go for our descent checks here. Now, because my idiot autopilot's sleeping, you know who I'm talking about. This guy, the FO, because he's sleeping, we're going to have to do some flows for our descent. So, fortunately, I have flows just for this very thing. All right, so we're going to go on the top, engine sync to off. Then we're going to drop down pressurization. We're going to make sure it's set. We'll come to pressurization and go, all right, we're going to go 3002, or 3020. That's 10. Put it right on the 20. Why did it do that? Pressurization set. We're going to come down to seatbelt signs. They're already on. I turned them on already. Altimeters. We'll come to set the altimeter when we get to 18,000. We're going to go ahead and turn on our pumps. You want to get these pumps on, because if you don't, you can get air bubbles in the lines, in the hydraulic lines, and it's not good. And we just remember transition altitude at 18,000. We'll turn our lights on. Sean, Jason, I sent you a screenshot with parking area. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it, my friend. Denali says, are there any updates on the PMDG performance tablet? That's a good question. I saw a meme that I really thought was funny, but I'm not going to say it, but it was really funny. I haven't seen any yet. Just that they're working on the tablets, all I've seen. Okay. The updates drop without warning, so it could be here anytime. Who knows? That's exactly right. Who knows now? We don't know. Whew. All right. Any questions, folks? Down to 4,000 feet. We're following our profile now. We're going to go direct Hammond. So I don't know what my dog wants, but she wanted to get in here. Okay, we're direct Hammond. We'll go from Hammond to Busley. 25. That works. All right. I'm going to go ahead and, instead of this cruise, we're going to go ahead and put this to go around. That's going to drive your EPR bugs higher. So if we did have a problem, we could get out of there pretty quick. Let me let her in. I don't know what's going on. Give me a second. man. Right through 20,000. Oops. All right, folks, when we get down at 18, that's our next issue. Coming in pretty good. Once we land, it's going to be 28 left. Let's go ahead and just brief you on the approach. I'll do that right now as we're coming through 18,000. 3020 coming up. Lights coming on. Flood's coming up. Nacelle lights are on. Okay, lights are good. We've got those on as well. Let's go ahead and do the altitude. 3020, 3020. Does B still work? 3020. Let's take a look at some minimums while we're at it. 28 left, 28 left, 28 left. So 28 left is looking like 815. It's 10 statute miles scattered at 43. So it's visual conditions, which is good. So we're not gonna actually put our DH to the visual. We're gonna actually put this, to the actual chart. We're just actually gonna just bring it up to the touchdown zone, which is gonna be 800 feet. 815 feet is going to be right at touchdown here. As we come down through, I don't want to override. Gosh, I got to be able to see this, folks. There we go. Turning the terrain feature on just to help mitigate the mountains. There are mountainous terrain around here. So just want to make sure that's on. You're flying at night, can't see out the window. It's important that you get that terrain going so you can kind of see and start painting things. All right, back to the DH. I'll bring it up to 815, and then I'll do a. What is this? 500. We won't go past that. Airplanes. I know why. It's because it's a radar altimeter. That's just because it's the radar altimeter, so we're going to have to bring it all the way down. 52 feet. Well, that's fine right there. I don't care. All right, I'll brief you really quick on what's going on. Everything looks good. We don't need we don't need the... We're going to have to run our own checklist here. So our descent checks... I didn't think of that. Where's my paperwork for that? I didn't think of that, folks. Oh, shoot. I gotta run my normal checklist. Descent coming up, pressurization check, fuel pumps, hydraulic pumps are on high, fuel quantities check, perk briefing complete, landing data is set, transition's done, navigation is set. We're gonna slow down the aircraft now as we come down and through. Cancel that. Let's go ahead and brief you on this approach through 10,000 feet. Okay, slowing to 250 on the speed. I'm watching to see what's going on here. Go ahead and throw this down. Getting a little closer. You can can't see a flipping thing out there, can ya? All right. You can see how the airplane's slowing down. We're getting below profile right now. So there's a couple of things we can do to get to Hammond at 4,000. Let's see what the airplane wants to do. See how the airplane's just flying us straight? Well, it's captured the speed, but yet we're not descending. So what we're going to do is go to vertical speed. You can see I'm going to start cranking down some vertical speed here and watch the banana. It's called the green banana. And if you don't see that green banana, we're going to have to keep dropping. Let's go down to about 1,400 feet a minute. Let's see what we can gain out of that. Now we're only at 10,000, so Hammond's kind of going to come. See that green banana that's coming in? Well, that's not aggressive enough. So let's bring it down to 1,900 feet a minute. Let's see what that yields us. Okay. Does that get us to Hammond at 4,000? Kind of, maybe not. This is what I mean about stick and rudder skills, folks. Like, you see what I'm talking about, the automation. If you just left it there, you're just going to fly all night. And that's why you got to think. I love this airplane. You actually have to think when you fly and go, wait a minute, that's not going to, this autopilot's not very reliable. It just isn't. The 7.3 is great. This thing, like I said, you've got to be able to fly this thing and know what it's doing in the different modes. And I'm just nice and easy cranking down some speed there. There's 2,600. I might need to throw the brake on. Now here comes the speed brake as we blast through. As we go through this, I'm going to try to give you an update here. Glen Columbus International Airport, 11-3, Columbus, Ohio, looking at an MSA of 3,100 feet. So we've mitigated that by turning on the terrain features, making sure we're good to go. Localizer course, I got 111.75 and tuned in there. Good. Final approach course, 281, got that set as well. We're going to be shooting the Hammond, go straight through 281. The winds are going to be 270, so 10 degrees off of the nose, probably coming in from the left. We'll be aware of that. Let me just take my head out, make sure we're good to go. Okay, we're getting close. Here it comes. Brakes are full down now. I've got the brakes all in, and we're going to get ready for the approach. Once we start slowing up a little bit more, I'm going to start taking a peek, see what's going on outside the aircraft. All right, here comes 47 for 4. We're going to keep that drop down. I want you to hit 3,000. And then I'm going to go ILS. Set up the ILS here. Speeds coming back up. Speeds coming down. We'll drop that speed all the way down there, folks. Okay, as we turn, we're going to descend down to 3,300. 3,300, so about 3,000. Click that. Let the airplane come down. It's about 1,100 feet a minute. There's the airport. Airport's in sight. Let's call them up. Columbus traffic, Riptide 5,800 on final approach. Runway 28 left. All right, coming down here, we're going to go to ignition. Zone alpha. Watch our speed. Speed is, see the airplane is just unwinding. There we go, 3,000 coming in. We're going to level off soon. I expect to level off any minute. I'll start pitching back, slowing the aircraft out. Level off right now, watching the level off. The speed should come drop down. Now I'm going to go ahead and drop gear because we're getting awfully close. Let's see here. We got 3, that's 6, 7, 8. We got about 8 miles. The airplane should be leveling off right now. I want to see a level off. Altitude hold. Good. We've got an altitude hold. Here comes the glide slope. All right, here comes the speed. And here comes the gear. We've got to get the gear down right now. And slats coming out. We'll set our speed brake. Slats are dropping. Here comes the speed down even lower. We're bringing the speed all the way down. Okay, the ILS should kick in. Slats, flaps, 11. Okay, one more notch, flaps, 15. Lights coming on. Looking good on speed. We're going a little fast. 180, flaps 15. We got one more notch to go. Speed check. Here we come. 15. 170. Good. Speed check coming down. Flap 28. Landing checklist. Okay, speed brake is armed. Gear is down. 3 greens. Flap set 28. And we're good to go. I'm not going to go ahead and arm. We'll arm it. If I could get there. I don't know. It's kind of a pain in the neck. Alright, auto brakes armed. We don't really need to do that, but we're going to. Looking good on the speed. Let me go ahead and get dialed in now. That's what's so cool about the MD-80. It stops in a dime. That's 1,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and take over now. It's going to be my aircraft. Auto throttle coming off. Autopilot coming off. I've got the airplane. It is my plane. Watching the speed, looking good. Really nice and good on the speed. Just a little touch of. He's already getting a little low, and I'm just gonna wait 1,000, 2, 1,000. Little more pitch up, a little more thrust. About right there. Hold that. Columbus traffic, Riptide 5800 on short final, runway 28 left.
500.
She floats. This thing floats like nobody's business. It just does. I'm expecting a little bit of crosswind here.
Light slope.
I got the glide slope. I'm correcting.
Light slope. Terrain.
That was weird. I could see out the window. I mean, it's like, what are you talking about? Now we're on it. On profile, looking good. We're going to follow that all the way down. A little bit bumps here. See? It just wants to come up on it, so it's not trimmed right. The trim is pretty good. Coming in awfully fast.
Minimums. 100.
Alright, this is perfect.
Light slope. 50.
I got it.
40.
Coming idle right now because this airplane will float.
10.
She gets in a ground effect and just goes. Touchdown. Brakes. Reverser set. Auto throttle's kicking in. I mean, auto brakes on. What we get out of 60 knots? Out of reversers. My plane on the brakes. Welcome to Columbus, folks. Well, that was a fun flight, wasn't it? We're going to get off at Charlie 5. We did it. Let's see if the rudder fails me. Actually, obviously taxi very slow over here. We'll stop the aircraft. I think I know where we're going. It's back to the terminal. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. And then let's figure out what we're going to do. Alright. Yeah, I'm going to have to get on the dang brake. Alright, let's turn this off. Those are coming off. APU's come and start. I wish this is where my FO should be coming in handy here. We'll click that to run. We'll go ahead and turn that off. That's coming to position light. And a collision light's good. Throw this off. Flight director's coming off. Alright. Let's see where we're going. I think it's pretty much straight, if I'm not mistaken. I thought it was west of the terminal. 160 feet a minute, that was pretty good. I'll take that any day. That was good. Good landing. But it was a little long, so I don't think it was a great landing, right? I mean, it floats. This airplane floats, but I mean, we got off on Charlie 5. That's pretty darn good. It was light, folks. That's why. Not me. It's just super light. Yeah, we just say west side. We don't have a... Was it a gate? Sean? I think it's pretty much straight in, folks. We're going to go ahead and go straight in and see what we got. I'm going to turn this thing off. Click my timer. And I'm going to actually shut off number 2 if I can see it, because otherwise the taxi is just going to get it out of hand. And I think it's pretty much straight ahead. I think I missed my turn. Dang it. Hold on, stop. What am I doing? This grass I'm on? What is going on with this thing? Alright, we got to get through this. I think I put it on the grass. I missed my turn. There it is. Turn. Excuse me, folks. I'm coming through the grass. Hopefully, didn't take off any signs or anything like that. There we go. That was stupid. There's a little turn I've missed. Turn it back. There we are. Now I think we're going somewhere. Wow, this is like teeny, isn't it? I gotta back this out just a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. General aviation parking. It's pretty much over on this side of the airport here. Yeah, it's like right in here. This is where we're going to be parking. I don't have a gate per se, gate assignment, but I think it's going to be right in this range. At least this is where they parked in real life. It's just a little bit more on this side. Cool, what's that? Yeah, there we go. It's like right here. No, it's not a gate. Yeah, it's west of the terminal. That's where we are. I think it's going to be like right in here, folks. This is pretty cool. I mean, judging from the photos and the picture and stuff, it's like right in here. And it would make sense. I mean, look at this. There's so many hangar spaces. A perfect spot for them. And I'm going to stop right here and call it done. This thing just wants to take off. Okay, brake set. APU's coming on the line. That one is on the line. Alright, coming to shut this off. Flaps. Flap 0. And we'll get the slats in here. Those lights off. Slats up. It's another unique thing about this airplane that the 737 does not have, is the flaps and slats are different systems. That's coming off. Actually, I'm going to keep those on. Anti-collision light is off. Welcome to Columbus. That was awesome. And this is a cool little freeware that we got. As Sean told me to download, I downloaded it, put it on here. It's pretty cool. All right, let's go. What do you say we shut off the? Oh, we're burning APU. Let's see if we can get a GSX thing working for us. Ram 5445. Let's see if this works. All right. Yeah, it clearly doesn't work. So we're gonna go up here. And of course, I'm gonna restart it. just going to restart GSX. Let's see if we can get it to work. Okay, so you said parking 54, huh? What the heck? Okay, nope. I see all parking positions. That is not going to work. 1935? No. No. Let's try this one. There we go. 54, you said? Sean, 54 or 55, right around there. Let's go 54.
The chosen position is too small for your aircraft.
Where it put us? Oh. Okay, let's see where it put us. Yeah, we're right there. Just flip the other way. That's fine. That'll work. GSS has to do that in order to get a D-plane thing going. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. This should work now.
This parking is too small for your aircraft. The boarding requested.
We've requested the boarding. We'll come over here, turn on our services. I think it's going to get the door for us. I think we just have to plug in and throw the cargo doors open. There you go. They're going to drive in the stairs for us, which will be nice. Ah, that's pretty cool. Alright. Rolling baggage cards. Really close. I'll have to customize it before we leave tomorrow. Or Monday. Alright, when they come in, I'll get the airplane. We gotta keep burning the APU, which sucks.
Passenger's bus is coming.
Are they going to open the door for us, or are we going to have to open the door? I think when the PAX bus gets here, they'll open the door. I'm just going to turn on the light. I need to see what I'm doing, so I'm going to flood the cockpit right now with that. Flood it up. Nice. All right. We turned our pumps off, I think. Yes, we did. Nope. We did now. All right, pumps are coming off. We should be on the brake. Chocked up. And we'll go ahead and throw the brake off. Welcome to Columbus, folks. That was awesome. That was a fun flight. Cool airport. I like it. We'll definitely keep the nacelle on for them, and we'll deplane them here in a minute. And because they're going to be waiting for the bus, there's the bus coming. We're going to have to drop the aft air stairs. And why was that? I didn't even see that thing. We'll drop the aft air stairs. You need power to do that, so we'll go ahead and get the aft air stairs down. Yeah, it looks right to me. I think we're right at it where they said it would be.
Passengers deboarding starting.
All right, we're coming out of the aircraft. I don't know why it does that stupid thing. It is so weird. Like, what are you doing, airplane? Alright. It don't like whatever I just did, so I'm just not going to do it. Don't break my airplane. Let's go file the flight before it does anything stupid. Alright, shut up. I get it. Anyway, we're here. Let me write down the fuel. That's I don't know what's wrong with it. It didn't like whatever I just hit. I got to get the fuel numbers though. So we're looking at, for tomorrow, we're looking at, or Monday, 5800 left main, 5850 on the right main, nothing in the center. That's it. Let's get out of this dang airplane. Shut up, dude. I'm going to shut it down because I just don't want to hear that light. All right, I got it. Continue.
This
We're
parking
gonna
is
throw
too
that
small
off.
for your aircraft.
Still doing it. I'm shutting it off. That's coming off. Stand by. Oh, I don't like this thing. APU should come down here in a minute. I'm going to throw these pumps off. Galley power is coming off. Emer lights off. No smoking. Seatbelt signs. Galley power. Shut up, airplane. Oh my gosh. Why can't I shut this off? Hold on. Now I'll shut you off. All right. There goes the APU. Oh, that's a cool picture. On this side it is. All right, pretty sweet. I'm actually going to take a shot of this. I wonder if I can... See, I don't know why it won't let me, it won't let me move the camera or anything. It's so weird. Anyway. See, that does. Oh, I think I know why. There we go. Now it works, because it had me stuck. I like taking pictures on this view. There it goes. Look at that. The ramper's getting fired too. That's what happened. They hit me with the tug. That's cool. Let's get a shot of this. With it's cool with the right at the FBO. That's pretty sweet. Maybe we can get a cool shot. I like taking night shots because they're awesome. Where's that FBO? Oh yeah, Lane Aviation. You know what I like about the MD-80? It looks like a space shuttle. Like the cockpit looks like a space shuttle. It's really cool. Alright, let's not do that. Now if we get in here again, we're going to come up here. Which one was it? It's one of these lights that I can't see. Let's try this. Control Alt? Control... Is it Alt? L? There we go. That's the end of that. Alright folks, that's it. Woohoo! We made it. By the way, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed my little rant and all that good stuff. Thanks for watching, and we are scheduled and planned again to fly Thanksgiving. On Thanksgiving, it'll be for the public. It's going to be on Thanksgiving morning, so at 8 o'clock. It's going to be a Southwest flight. We'll fly from where are we going? I think we're going from I want to say San Jose to San Diego. So maybe an hour, 10 minutes. Really cool. We'll do it 8 in the morning, nice and early. And for our patrons, we fly the return flight back down to Fort Lauderdale. It's really it's only a day trip for us. So we'll fly it. The team's going to fly down there tomorrow. So right after their game tomorrow, they'll head back down. We'll fly it on Monday. So Monday night, plan on that. I'll get it scheduled for our patrons, patreon.com/the FSBN channel. And then we could just sign up. There's a whole bunch of cool things. Anyway, hope you folks enjoyed this. Nate, how are you, my friend? Am I too late? Well, yeah, but you got to rewind. You can watch the rewind. It's no big deal. We just landed in Columbus, Ohio, and that was fun. I'm glad the takeoff went well. We've got to get our FO to fly right. I don't know what's wrong with him, but we'll try to get the FO to work. Alrighty. Okay, folks, have a great week, and I'll see you folks. I'll see our patrons on Monday. I'll see the rest of you on Thanksgiving in the 737 with Southwest. Until next time, keep the blue side up and the black side down. We will see you folks later. Have a good one.